One prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor, and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREON info.com.
Kansas City, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can watch all your favorite shows right from your phone, computer, or tablet. Every day, we stream the shows live on YouTube, plus clips from the biggest moments and biggest guests. Hit that subscribe button so 96.5 The Fan goes right to the top of your feed. In your car, on your phone, or on your computer, we are everywhere. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Welcome into Fescoe and Dusty.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
A show that, analytically, exists between 6 and 10 weekday mornings on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Oh, buddy.
Live from the studios that brought you.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Here's Bob Fescoe and Dusty Likens.
Hello. How you living? How you doing? How you feeling on a Friday Eve? That's right. Sorry about that. It's a Thursday. Hit you with the 1-2 there. Nathan Williams, Logan Weber, Mac Morey with you. No Bob, no Dusty. Out all week. They will be back on Monday with me back producing the damn thing. Here we are, though. Another day, another fun one. Nathan, you're hosting tonight again, right after hours.
Yes, sir. Let's
go.
6 to 9 p.m.
Heck yes.
They let me, dude. I thought it was a practical joke. I got the email. I thought I'd show up on Tuesday. My key card wouldn't work. We got it done. It was a great time.
Dude, I only got to listen to 10 or 15 minutes in the car, but it was
all good.
I mean, naturally, it was awesome. So, great job.
Very kind of you. Very kind of you.
I was not surprised at all. Yes.
Nobody should have been surprised. We've all had an opportunity to work with you forever, and you've done such a phenomenal job as a producer. I love getting to work with you in the evenings. Super excited for you that you're getting your own shot to shine there in front of the mic this week.
Damn right.
Let's go. Thank you very much. Thank you. It was a fun time. It was me and James. I think he's back tonight. Not sure.
Okay, great.
But either way, yeah, looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, that just means you have fantastic programming all day. After this, we'll get Cody, Bink, and Drew, and then, of course, Carrington and Rob at the Drive. And then Nathan, morning and night, 6 to 9. And then tomorrow will be JT and I. I'll be solo. Logan, it's been wonderful. These 2 days, our last third day. Let's kill it again.
Dude, I've been so impressed with this week. I've been so excited. One of those things that, like, I'm used to working evenings. You know, I'm used to being here from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah, it's a little different.
So being here from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m., a little different on the body. But, you know, it's one of those things that we're on day 3 of this. I'm finally feeling my body become used to the effects of going to bed early. Just in time for this whole thing to just flip the script again and be back to the same evening schedule next week. Yep, is what it is.
Yay.
The beauties of fill-in work.
That's kind of how I feel with the weekend. I'll stay up later than I should on Friday and Saturday, and then it's like just as I get back to my night owl self, because that's really what I like to be up till 1 or 2 a.m. rather than go to bed at 10, and that's really what it is. It's 10 or 11 for me. I'm not doing the 8 or 9 thing. I don't. I take a nap in the middle of the day. I sacrifice it. I stay up till 10:30 or 11, but yeah, and then I get to Sunday, I'm like, okay, back to going to bed at 10 or 10:30 rather than 1. 913-586-7965 is the J Southland Tow Service text line. Be a part of the show all day. Wow, Argentina did it again. Unbelievable. Down 1-0 in the 50th minute or whatever. They really couldn't get much going the whole game. It felt like Messi was manned up the whole game. They weren't giving him space. It felt like, though, after England scored that first goal, they changed their whole strategy. They went defensive. They made substitutions. I couldn't tell you about the specific lineup changes, but from visually, it did change. It felt like they brought in less midfielders, more center backs, if that's the correct verbiage there. That felt like playing scared to me from England, and bit you in the ass. 2-1. 80th, and I mean they scored 2 goals in the last 10 minutes of regulation.
Yeah,
no extra time.
I mean, I said yesterday that it felt like the key to this game was going to be Argentina's defense. Like, you knew what England was going to do with Messi. I mean, very rarely was there a moment in this game when Argentina was in possession of the ball that he didn't have 2 defenders on him. I mean, they were daring somebody else from Argentina to make a play. And England, at the same time, it felt like Argentina didn't have that opportunity. Argentina couldn't just put 2 guys on Harry Kane and feel good about their chances because you're leaving you're leaving away the opportunity to put 2 on Jude Bellingham. I mean, these are 2 of the best goal scorers in this tournament. Argentina had Messi. And you're right. It felt like especially after England scored that first goal, I know that this is a strange, but people that know sports know exactly what I mean by this term. It felt like after they scored that opening goal to go up 1-0, England started playing not to lose.
Yep.
Rather than playing to win. I didn't see a sense of aggressiveness from Harry Kane in this game. I didn't see a sense of aggressiveness from Jude Bellingham. The defense continued to do its job until it just became that Argentina scores that first goal in the 85th minute, and it felt like, oh no. Are the floodgates open now? Like it just, England just put way too much on their defense for the last 50 plus minutes of that match that eventually the dam broke and the reservoir poured through, and Argentina ends up winning it with that goal in extra time. And here they are in the World Cup final in what could possibly be Lionel Messi's final World Cup appearance.
Yeah, I saw Kay Adams tweet that she thinks that he's coming back in 4 years.
Well, someone in her comments was like, oh, so Leo's going to come back just to score, 4 goals?
Yeah.
And she was like, that would be like the 6th leading goal scorer in this tournament. What are you talking about?
She was like Mo Salah, Lukaku, naming all these older players, haven't scored 0 goals.
Zilch.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
I imagine this is going to be Leo Messi's last World Cup game, right? I mean, you would have to think so.
Also,
especially if it's a win. If they beat Spain, do the Peyton Manning thing.
Do it,
please,
man.
They can't just leave while you're out on top.
They can't do this against Spain, right? And I'm in before all of the referee comments. Take it up with the 2024 Chiefs. Like, I get it. They don't look impressive. They pull it out of the hat at the end of the game. And I'm certainly not defending what happened against Egypt. I'll get with the critics of FIFA on that one.
That was frustrating.
But the rest of these games, I'm like, yeah, is there a ticky-tack call here or there? Sure, but they just figure out a way to win late in the game. The problem is Spain has ceded less than 10 shots on goal this entire tournament. Can this BS even be done against Spain? I don't know. We'll see. But I'm pumped for Sunday's finale.
I know. Sunday at 2. You got the 3rd place game Saturday, which I'm seeing now a lot of Americans tweet about. Oh, 3rd place game. I think it's awesome. I think it's fantastic. Also, there's a big purse for 3rd place, so that's why this matters. That's why they will go out there and give 100% effort. Also, it's the World Cup. This still matters to them. You'd rather finish 3rd than 4th. Timing of Argentina's winners in the knockout round versus Cape Verde, the 111th minute, versus Egypt, the 92nd minute, versus Switzerland, the 112th minute, versus England, the 92nd minute in stoppage time. They have not led after 90 minutes of any knockout game. They are, at this point, they are a team of destiny. They're giving me New York Knicks vibes. That's what's happening right now.
You know, you put that in the rundown last night and into this morning, and I wanted to so vehemently disagree. When I first read it, I'm like, the Knicks? What? And then, I started to dig down the rabbit hole, and I look at the numbers, and I'm like, okay, yeah, Knicks in all 4 games that they won in the NBA Finals. Okay, yeah.
It was insane.
You're right. I mean, it is.
That series gets played 100 other times. Not one other time does it go 4 or 5 games. It just doesn't. That game, that series goes 6 games at least every 99 other times. But the Knicks, in that run, in that instance, it was just that way. I mean, what did they do against the Cavs? Weren't they down? What was it? Was it the Cavs or was it the...
Yeah, I think it was game 1 against
they were down
Cleveland.
20.
They were down they were down
26
19 at the start of the 4th quarter. They were down 26 in the middle of the 3rd.
The finals with the tip-in.
With the tip-in, the OG tip-in. But yeah, it kind of feels like Argentina is on that sort of run. And oh, by the way, it's not Jalen Brunson leading the thing. It's Michael Jordan. They have him in at the helm of this whole comeback right now. And you got to put him on the Mount Rushmore of all sports. This comes from Matt Tate, who covers KU athletes and sports over there. Messi, Tiger, and Tyson, those 3 are locks on the Mount Rushmore of best to ever do it in their sport in my lifetime. So he's got 3, Messi, Tiger, and Tyson. a serious debate to be had among some all-time greats for that fourth spot. Who you got? Rivera, Ohtani, Jordan, Phelps, he mentions.
Ohtani's an interesting one.
Serena not being brought up yet is a disgrace,
Serena.
an absolute disgrace.
First name that came to my mind was Gretzky.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
Gretzky
know
was
if
somehow
Tiger-
the best scorer and passer in hockey all at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know if Tiger is a lock on that list. I think Leo Messi is a lock on that list. Of course,
Ooh.
Tiger's in the conversation. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's on the more of the fringe than Matt Tate had him as a lock. Because there's some names. God, Jordan, Gretzky.
It's one of those
I would have
things
to
that,
put Gretzky in there. And I mean, Tyson, not my lifetime. I didn't get to really watch him. So I'm going to take Tyson off. I'm going to put Gretzky in there. And then, I'll put Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
Because even though Michael Jordan is the GOAT, there are LeBron James has all the stats. Like, I'm talking like I watched this sport. Messi's pass yesterday. I mean, it's like it's on a string. It's like he's legitimately has it's a drone. He's controlling the ball.
So
it's unbelievable.
I made the point the other night on After Hours, as you brought up. I've been lucky to see guys like Ohtani play in person, or Tom Brady, or Patrick Mahomes, right? Guys that Brady and Mahomes aren't in the all-time athlete GOAT conversation, but certainly in the NFL they are. Leo Messi is the greatest player I've ever seen, just based on the way the crowd reacts to him. So I was out there last Saturday night against Switzerland. This guy, when he moves, so does the crowd. Like, they stand up as he runs down the field. The cameras go up as he runs down the field. There was a moment when Argentina scored that goal in, I think, the 10th minute early in the game. It was off a set piece. He had just taken a corner in one corner that was headed out by Switzerland immediately. So he just walked across the field to the other corner. And to watch the wave of cameras go up from corner to corner and then down from, it was like watching an ocean of people. It was insane.
That's
if I
so
knew
cool.
nothing about sports and I just attended these events, I would say that's the greatest player ever. Just based on the way people are treating him, that is the greatest player ever.
That's a great way to look at it too. The gravity that you have within your sport and within not even just your sport, within people watching the sport, and in the World Cup, that your fandom increases tenfold. So everyone starts watching you, and it's like we know it. We know to keep our eyes on 10 the whole time.
Yeah, Usain Bolt. I mean, I don't know if he belongs in that conversation or not, but to be the fastest man in the world for a literal decade, I mean, the guy just continued 8 gold medals, numerous world championships in track and field. I mean, he still owns the world records in both the 100 and the 200. He set those 17 years ago. Still holds on to those things. And that was in 2009 that he set those records. He still he turned around and won a gold medal again in 2012. Like, the guy was the fastest man alive for a decade. I feel like he belongs in that conversation. Yeah. I don't know if he belongs on that top 4, but he's in that realm.
As 3 guys in our 20s, I wonder if we do a little bit with what the 90s fans do with Jordan, where it's like, yes, he's the greatest of all time, but you act like he's like we can't even comprehend his greatness. Do we do that with guys like Phelps and Bolt because of the moments they gave us in our child? Like they each have like probably my top 2 favorite Olympic moments of all time. So am I anchoring my love for a guy like Michael Phelps on that? Is he on another sports fans Mount Rushmore? I don't know. Obviously he's a great. Don't get me wrong, but just like
I don't know.
That 8th gold medal is probably my favorite moment in sports ever. That you cannot beat that atmosphere. Can't beat it.
No. And I mean, for Phelps, maybe more so for Usain Bolt. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
for Phelps.
I don't feel that way with Michael Phelps. I mean,
Most decorated Olympian ever.
the guy broke 39 world records,
insane.
many of which he still holds. Like, I mean, Mark Spitz broke 33. Like, think about that. I mean, he was considered the greatest Olympian ever. I mean, by many standards, by people around the world who follow the Olympic Games. Yeah. And Phelps, no pun intended, blew him out of the water with his 39 world records that he set. I don't know. It just doesn't, to me, I don't necessarily feel that way. I mean, maybe 20, 30 years down the line when athletes are likely, I mean, just based on the way that it's gone for us so far in human history, when the athletes are even better 3 decades from now, and we're still talking about it in this way. Meanwhile, you've got somebody who's swimming the 200-meter butterfly in 1 minute and 45 seconds, and we're still talking about how Phelps is the GOAT, then yeah, our kids are going to, we're done with the 2010 sort of thing that they'll hit us
He
with.
played in the streamer, the YouTubers era. He played against streamers.
Played against streamers.
No, I think Phelps is on my Mount Rushmore, right? He's on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
I was
Phelps
just
has to
wondering
be.
if we were
No, I get it.
overestimating our own generation of athletes.
You're probably right. There is probably some of that, but the at least the stats, the records back it up. Whereas even in basketball, you look at Michael Jordan. I mean, you have to kind of lean on some videos or stories, this sort of legend that kind of comes up, because you're not just looking at the stats. You would say LeBron James is the GOAT, and I'm not going to say that. 913-586-7965. Don't get mad at me. We already have a 913 telling me Jordan wasn't in your lifetime either. Yes, I understand. I shouldn't have said it that way. I don't know as much about boxing. I went through a hockey phase. I've watched a lot of Wayne Gretzky. I've watched most of Michael Jordan's prime hardwood classics. I spent many Friday night alone when I could have been.
What a pull. Hardwood that unlocked something in me like a sleeper agent. The minute you said
many
that.
times I could have hung out with friends or maybe even with girls in high school, and I decided, I'm going to go watch old basketball games. So
Sure, buddy.
I know more about. Yeah, sure. Those opportunities were there for you, buddy. Sure. So I know more about Wayne Gretzky and Michael Jordan. So I don't want to speak on Mike Tyson and his greatness, although I know that he is a legend in his own right as well. So,
but I feel like in boxing, it's not just like people are only talking about Tyson. Yeah, people bring up Mike Tyson, then somebody's going to bring up Muhammad Ali. Somebody's bringing up Floyd Mayweather.
Exactly,
Somebody's bringing up Evander Holyfield.
It doesn't feel the same.
It doesn't feel. Boxing. There are so many guys that are considered that pound for pound greatest boxer of all time. You could ask 100 different people. You might hear 8 or 10 different names. It doesn't feel the same when we talk about some of these other sports and the names. You talk about hockey. You might hear 3, 4 names in hockey. You talk about basketball, you might hear 3 or 4, depending on the person, which feels like probably too many in my opinion. The NFL, if you're not hearing Brady at least 90 times out of 100, and I say that with the hope that Mahomes eventually reaches the ability to be in that conversation. I believe he kind of already is, but I digress.
You'd have some old heads bring up Montana.
Yeah. Boxing doesn't have that limited supply to choose from. There's so many, and maybe it's because of the weight classes and the different eras.
It's definitely a part of that. Yeah,
it's just
we already got a Holyfield was better than Tyson. There's going to be a bunch of names that you start to bring up over Mike Tyson. And when you're talking about a Mount Rushmore all time, I kind of need you to be in your own echelon.
Yeah,
we're talking about greatness.
You have to kind of stand on a pedestal by yourself.
Yes. We'll talk some NFL right here. Guys, you are in. Guys, you are out on, because there are some names here that I listed that, they're kind of walking this tightrope. Which way are they going to go in their career? We'll have some takes on the other side. You listen to 96.5 The Fan. It's your home for Kansas City sports.
Fescoe and Dusty.
Every Hardee's is closed. Well, that sucks.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you hear the news lately, the population of ticks is at an all-time high. We're looking at mosquito bites going out there, getting everybody. But if you call my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, you won't have to worry about that this summer, because you have the mosquito dome over your yard like we do. And we think it is so important to make sure that all of those bugs are taken care of this spring, this summertime, when we're sitting outside. Nobody wants the mosquito bites, and you also want to keep your dog free of all those ticks and fleas. The mosquito dome from Aspen Lawn and Pest Control can do just that. And then you can sit outside and enjoy your beautiful yard that Aspen created especially for you, just like they did for us. They took our awful yard and turned it into the best looking lawn on the block. We absolutely love a relationship with Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, and they have college educated professionals that know how to grow the best lawns in Kansas City. Right now, they're going to give you a free estimate and up to half off your first application when you mention this ad. So visit them now at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct, to the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, it is time for you to go see my friends over at Heartland Men's Health because, as we all know, performance matters in those intimate moments, and you don't want to let ED get in the way because ED can ruin the moment. When you're getting intimate with your partner, you aren't able to perform the way you want or used to be able to, and that can be really frustrating. But at Heartland Men's Health, there are a wide range of advanced treatment options for every stage of ED that can help you get back to performing again and maybe even better. And you know what? At Heartland Men's Health, they use advanced medical science to empower male performance with therapies that go far beyond the pills. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%, and some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is $99 and includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit's free. They have 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, and in North Kansas City. So call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Baseball season is in full swing, and you can trade every game over on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you trade every game, futures, and even the all-star events. For instance, maybe you're thinking about, well, I want to figure out who's going to take home the trophy. Maybe you like Milwaukee to do so. A $100 trade over on Kalshi right now could net you a $1,068 payout. Those are the kind of things you can do over there on Kalshi, because over there you're trading against a person in a live market, meaning there is no house, and the probability changes. You can buy in and out of your position depending on what position of yours you like. And for a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to get $10 when you trade 10. K-A-L-S-H-I, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, visit kalshi.com/regulatory.
It's the law, man. If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident, call me ASAP, 816-816-9111. I recovered millions for my clients. Take it away.
The lawman gets results. Juggle law team. Call the lawman. Let the fight begin. The lawman gets results. Jungle law.
Come see me get roasted August 1st at 7 p.m. at the Uptown Theater. Go to junglelaw.com for details.
The choice of a lawyer shouldn't be based on advertisements.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Hey, this is Trey Smith, and you're listening to your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
On the Missouri side, 35 southbound from Missouri 152 into downtown is a 12-minute trip. I-70 westbound from 470 into downtown, 15 minutes. Kansas side 70 eastbound from 435 to 670 is an 11-minute drive. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Rocking and rolling here on a Thursday morning, 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. No Fescoe, no Dusty this week. Nathan Williams, Logan Weber, Mac Morey with you until 10 a.m. this morning. Tomorrow, JT and I will take the day for 4 hours from 6 to 10. I teased it. Guys on the brink in the NFL. Who are we in on? Who are we out on? This seems to be a conversation that happens probably far too often in all of sports. Our patience with players has decreased so heavily. It feels like we used to give guys, especially quarterbacks, 2, 3, 4 seasons when I was growing up. That's the way it was. Rookie QB came in, you know he was going to suck first year, probably even his second season. And then by that third year, you probably start to go, okay, let's start to see that improvement. Let's start to see some strides be made. Now that's not really the case. If you don't kill it your first month of the season, we're having a referendum on your whole career and who you are as a human being. It's a little bit ridiculous. These are guys, though, that have been in the league for a little bit, have had chances to maybe make their way. C.J. Stroud is one that's made the playoffs now 2 years in a row. He's won a playoff game now 2 years in a row. And yet we are completely, he is the poster child for this conversation of whether he's going to go one way or go the other. He's had a fork in the road type season, it seems, from a national perspective. Is C.J. Stroud, can he do it? And a lot of that sucks because it's of his own doing. It's because he was so good his rookie season, one of the best rookie seasons I've ever seen in my life from a quarterback. And because of that, he set the bar so high. Now that we're looking at him, we're going, he's not actually that good. It's kind of like a mini version of what we've done with Mahomes here in Kansas City. You look at his stats, you're like, oh man, 35 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, only 4,000 yards. No, that's a really good season. That's a top 5 quarterback season. Yes, it is not going to be 5,050. That's not a regular thing. You look at C.J. Stroud, 3,700 yards his second year, 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and then 3,000 yards his last year, 19 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, less picks, also less touchdowns, and a far less yards. Again, his rookie season, 4,100 yards, 23 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions, a 100 quarterback rating in that rookie season, setting the bar high. Kept his completion percentage right at 64, 63% all 3 seasons. He's consistent there. Are we in? Are we out? Are we somewhere in between on C.J. Stroud?
I would say we're somewhere in between, but leaning towards out. I mean, this year of all years feels like, as bad as C.J. Stroud was last year, as good as he was as a rookie in his rookie season, you've got no excuses if you're C.J. Stroud coming into 2026. It's probably the worst division top to bottom in the AFC coming into the year. I mean, Jacksonville, I think, surprised some people last season. I think that they may have a I don't know, return to the aggregate a little bit, because I felt like the Jacksonville Jaguars really shocked people, and they're not going to have that same wow factor coming into the year. This Texans offense is loaded for bear for C.J. Stroud to utilize. He's got some more security now in the running back room, the running back situation there in Houston, with David Montgomery being traded to Houston from Detroit. So you've kind of got a solidified RB1 to lead the running game. And then he's got weapons galore at the skill positions. I mean, Nico Collins, Tank Dell's back from injury. Xavier Hutchinson did some interesting things last year. And then you've got the 2 rookies from a season ago coming into year 2, and Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins. Pox on all 3 of those guys for being Iowa State people, but I digress. And Dalton Schultz. With that weaponry that you had, something is going to be able to be a positive note on every single play. You've got no excuses if you're C.J. Stroud. So he's got to take advantage of the weapons at his disposal and have a really good regular season. What I think is even more important for C.J. Stroud, buddy, you got to get it done in the postseason. 2 touchdowns to 5 picks in the playoffs last year. You had a rough game against the Chiefs in the divisional round 2 years ago. You got to do something come playoff time, because that feels like that's the mark of a young emerging quarterback now. I mean, I don't hear a lot of people talking about Jaden Daniels right now in this same context because of what he did as a rookie, getting Washington to an NFC championship game. Nobody is throwing smoke onto Mahomes right now because of it. CJ, you got to have great regular season stats this year, and then you at least have to prove that you are capable in the postseason. I'm not saying he has to be outstanding or he has to be perfect, But with that offensive weaponry and the defense that's on the other side of the football for Houston, if C.J. Stroud can do his job, there's no reason why this Texans team should not win the AFC South.
I'm with you. And, Mac, I like your point about how if a quarterback is not good, we now have a shorter leash for him as a rookie. But in this case, C.J. Stroud was good, and now we're like, okay, this is who you are. You
have to be this now.
All-pro every single year. His yardage has gone down, but he also played in 3 less games this last year. And his touchdown to interception ratio is it's around the same. It's relatively the same.
2-1.
I am in on C.J. Stroud with a bullet.
Same.
I can't defend last year's playoffs, Logan. I can't do it. What I can say is it seems to me that it was more like Mahomes against the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl than it was some guy who let the moment get the better of himself. And so the other thing I want to remind you on C.J. Stroud is his team actively sabotaged his offensive line before last season. The guy had no left tackle. Now they spent a first-round pick on a left tackle. They went out and paid for a right tackle. As you mentioned, they got Tank Dell back. They have a real running back. Look, Woody Marks won me my fantasy league last year. That was their bell cow, though. He was a waiver wire pickup. It is a more real offensive line, a more real skill position room. And the best part about this is defense is cyclical, yes, but I think the Texans are at the peak of that defensive cycle between last year and this year. So I think the defense is still going to be really damn good. Give me one more year on C.J. Stroud. I'm still in on him.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I think the offensive line's the best point there because, they really did. It was like, hey, wait, what? You're getting rid of your best left tackle, one of the better left tackles in the league. See you later. And the offensive line showed it. They struggled all year, and C.J. Stroud was hit just as much as any other quarterback. He was top 5 in sacks, top 5 in QB hits last year for C.J. Stroud. I would also say with Jaden Daniels, I think he gets the benefit of the doubt, too, because he was hurt.
Yes.
This is the way this works. He was hurt. They were 2-5 when he started. He only threw 8 touchdowns in his 7 games last year. I think the referendum on Jaden Daniels is just delayed because he got hurt last season. And so we're like, he got hurt. If he doesn't play well this year, get ready for the headlines on Jaden Daniels big time because he it's not Drake May. Who was the other quarterback in his draft class? Was it Drake May? Who is he compared to?
Yeah, because he was the 20, right? He was the 24 draft class. I think it was. He's compared to a litany of quarterbacks. Caleb Williams was the number one overall pick in that draft.
Yes.
Drake May was in that draft.
Class.
Penix was in that draft.
Yes.
J.J. McCarthy was. Yeah, that was like the 6 quarterbacks and 15. Bo Nix. Yeah.
Caleb Williams is the guy that I'm speaking of because Caleb Williams is going to kill it this season. He was great last year. We did the rookie thing of like, Caleb Williams, number 1 pick, overrated. And now he's doing it the opposite way. Jaden Daniels is going to have that come his way if he does not perform this season. Yeah, I'm kind of in on C.J. Stroud. Let's go to the next one. How about Brock Purdy?
In, which I also hate saying because he's an Iowa State guy. But I for a long time, felt like, and still do a little bit, that he is reaping the benefits of a tremendous head coach. I believe an underrated head coach. I feel like he gets a lot of flack because of the 2 Super Bowl losses, but Kyle Shanahan is a phenomenal leader of a football team. I thought he should have won NFL Coach of the Year last year. I mean, not to say that the Vrabel wasn't deserving or yada, 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 but
I'm with you.
The whole team was on the IR, including Brock Purdy for an extended period of time. And they still were on the brink of getting to an NFC championship game. I think that he is certainly benefiting from a very, very good situation there in San Fran. But, the guy is just the poster child for consistency. And I know that people say, he's a system quarterback, as if that's some level of scrutiny, as if that's some level of a dig. Some guys are bigger than the system, and those guys deserve all the credit in the world, right? Guys like Mahomes are bigger than the system. Aaron Rodgers, bigger than the system. But I don't feel like being a quote-unquote system quarterback should be seen as this quote-unquote negative. Now, I understand the conversation because of how impressive Mac Jones was last year filling in for Brock Purdy, but I still believe Brock Purdy, when he is healthy and when he is playing his standard of football, I believe he is a borderline top 10 quarterback in this league because, he's a system quarterback. He's a game manager. That's what's asked of him, and he does it extremely well, despite the fact that he is dealing with a wide receiver one that is attacking people that aren't even on his own team that he wants. I mean, he wants to be teammates with him on social media. His tight end, who is a phenomenal player but can't stay healthy, in George Kittle. I'm in on Brock Purdy. I really am.
Can I say I don't care? I mean, the Brock Purdy discourse has gotten old for me. Maybe it's just the Super Bowl lead up for the what was that, 3 years ago now against the Chiefs?
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys know Brock Purdy has a roommate? Did you know that? I just became so over it so quickly. Logan, I love the point. He's not bigger than the system. He's not one of those guys. He's never tried to be one of those guys. No one says he is one of those guys, and that's okay. I think where fans look at the 49ers this year, even with Shanahan's greatness, is they say the skill position players have gotten worse, and I'm not so sure that's true. I think Mike Evans can still do it. I think Ricky Pearsall's breaking out in a big way this year, and they got that Stripling kid from Ole Miss at the back end of the first or the top end of the second. So I think the wide receivers are going to take people, again, with Shanahan's magic a little bit off guard, and I think Purdy. I think I'm in on Brock Purdy.
I'll go in as far as you can win with him, but no, I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback, and I think if he was on another team, he would not be nearly as good. So when Sam Darnold was on this team 2 years ago, you're talking to the Sam Darnold truther. Before this all happened, that was the one guy, me and apparently Colin Cowherd were the two guys that were in on Sam Darnold, and I said it when he was on San Francisco and he was their backup quarterback. He would be better than Brock Purdy in that system. His arm strength, his ability to create, his off-script ability, I think is even better than Brock Purdy. I look at Brock Purdy, and I would see him on another team, and I don't think he would be that good. I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. Nothing that he can do really wows me. I don't think he's incredibly smart. I think he's got the smartest head coach in football who carries him. You say system QB. I think that's because Kyle Shanahan creates the system around what he has. If he had a better quarterback, that quarterback could play outside that system because Kyle Shanahan would let him. That's not a guy who's going to limit any of his players from exceeding expectations or becoming better than maybe we see just on the surface. I think Brock Purdy's has reached his peak, and frankly, I think he's going to start going downhill. I'll go out on Brock Purdy, honestly. I'm going to go out on him. Anthony Richardson.
I don't feel like this should be extremely long-winded. Out. I'm sorry. He has got all the talent in the world. I mean, the sort of guy who has more talent in his right arm than a lot of guys do in their entire bodies. But my goodness, between the play on the field itself, the tapping his helmet to get a sub as the starting quarterback of a football team.
That's it for me.
I'm done. And then to watch Daniel Jones, who was just raked over the coals in New York, come to Indianapolis, snatch your job up like it was no problem, and then outplay you head and shoulders. I know that we're in this era of the National Football League where guys are given second and third chances and they really blossom in those roles. Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. I don't see that happening for Anthony Richardson. Like even in the case of those two guys, like Darnold and Baker, while they weren't great in their first or second stops, they didn't have a 50% completion rate and more interceptions than touchdowns. You can't do that in today's day and age of the National Football League and expect anything to happen. Buddy, you requested a trade 6 months ago. Nobody bit. That should tell you everything you need to know about where you stand. I am out on Mr. Looks Like Tarzan, Plays Like Jane, Anthony Richardson.
Your point about Daniel Jones is funny because Kevin O'Connell is seen as kind of a Kyle Shanahan light. He gets the most out of his quarterbacks. Daniel Jones couldn't crack the field there because the aforementioned Sam Darnold was balling out in this guy's system, and yet he comes into Indianapolis and balls out where Anthony Richardson couldn't. Look, talent-wise, sure, I guess I'm in on Anthony Richardson. Always have been, always will be. That's not the conversation. Guys don't want to play for him. The production hasn't been there. He's a terrible teammate. I couldn't be further out on Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, this is part of my frustration with the referendums and the patience. It's just like 21-year-old guy made a mistake, and now all of a sudden we judge his character and who he is as a human being and as a young man. He's now 24 years old. No, I'm going to go in and I'm going to go, someone should give this guy a chance. I don't think there's many more talented athletes or quarterbacks in the National Football League. I just don't. I look at Anthony Richardson. He never really got a true chance. He was on a crappy Colts team with a Colts coach that's not there anymore. He didn't even start with Shane Steichen, I believe. So I'm just kind of like, he never really got a fair shot, and it kind of makes me go, man, do we know what we're talking about? We're talking about a 6'4", 240-pound guy who can run a 4.5 and who can chuck it 75 yards accurately. I just think Anthony Richardson has a spot in this league, so I'll go in on him on the fact that I think that he should deserve another chance. And I'm going to go like people don't want to play for him. Yeah, they didn't want to play for 21, maybe even 22-year-old Anthony Richardson. I know, we're all guys in our 20s. The maturation from 21 to 24, 25 years old, it's huge.
That's fair.
It's massive.
That's fair.
So I think a lot can change. New scenery is needed for him. He's got to get out of Indianapolis, though, if that's ever going to happen. Marvin Harrison Jr.
In.
Okay.
Dude, I'm still so in on Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm not buying into this discourse that he was overhyped, and I'm not buying it. I really am not. I mean, he has had to. I mean, you talk about Anthony Richardson in a bad situation, which I don't completely disagree with. I do to some extent. Marvin Harrison Jr. could not have landed in a worse spot. I mean, the poor guy last year in Arizona, did he do fantastic things? No, he didn't. But it's hard to do anything worthwhile when you are playing for that team and trying to catch passes from those guys. I mean, it's an absolute dumpster fire in Arizona when it comes to the quarterback position. It sounds like Jacoby Brissett's going to be the guy again. Yikes. No, I really do believe in Marvin Harrison Jr. I continue to believe that. It's hard for me not to. When I look around the league at all of these other Ohio State wide receivers who are just blowing people away, I didn't think Jackson Smith-Njigba was a better player than Marvin Harrison Jr. at Ohio State. I didn't think the same thing about Carnell Tate or Emeka Ibuka. Mm-hmm. The only Ohio State receiver I've seen in the last decade coming out of that system with the Buckeyes that I believe is a better player than Marvin Harrison Jr. is the guy still wearing a uniform right now who should probably be the number 1 overall pick next year. No, I'm so unbelievably still in on Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yes, I think and look, I'm in on him too. I think he in the end. And that's just me with the eye test. I have no data to back that up. I'm in on Marvin Harrison Jr. And, boy, if you guys think the discourse was loud this last offseason about a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr., Brian Thomas Jr., the wide receiver rebuild's coming next offseason. So get used to hearing that guy's name. He's going to be the text line, Twitter, everyone in Chiefs Kingdom's darling, especially if he shows any sign of improvement with, as you mentioned, Logan, just a cast of nobodies throwing him the football down in Arizona.
Yeah, we're doing cast of nobodies. Jacoby Brissett was awesome last year. I don't know what we're doing. Like, I get it. Like, it's the name. Jacoby Brissett was great last year. 3,400 yards, 23 touchdowns, 8 picks, completed 65% of his passes. He was fantastic. The record wasn't. That team sucks. The coach probably sucks. Jacoby Brissett was extremely impressive to me. And also, Kyler Murray isn't just some bum walking around. Trey McBride had 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns last year. Don't act like you can't get yards, you can't get usage. Marvin Harrison Jr. is the problem. You had Greg Dortch and Michael Wilson looking better on that team than Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm out on Marvin Harrison Jr. He's at number 2 wide receiver at best. That's Marvin Harrison Jr.
All right, you didn't sell me on Anthony Richardson. We still disagree on that one. You sold me a little bit on your Marvin Harrison Jr. take that time. You did. And I don't think Kyler Murray is a bum. I think he's going to have I think Minnesota's winning their division this year. I think that's going to be a great.
I'm with you.
A great situation
I'm
up there
big
in
on
Minneapolis.
Them. Yes.
Okay. As long as it means J.J. McCarthy's not their quarterback. Because if
that's exactly
J.J. McCarthy.
Out.
I never understood it. I never understood that man being a top 10 pick. Blew my mind at the time. Still does.
Yeah, I look at Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm like, no, it's not all these bums. There are other guys producing and they're fantasy winners. They're fantasy football league winners. And Trey McBride's the best tight end in football right now. He's second or third. That's with Brissett. Marvin Harrison Jr., if you're this phenom, if you're this generational transcendent talent that we propped you up to be for a year and a half in college, where is it? And also say, I agree with you, Nathan. He looks slower. He looks awesome with his shirt off, but I'll tell you what, I don't need my wide receiver to have an 8-pack and have biceps the size of my thighs. It's not conducive to success. It's not. DK Metcalf, you look great with your shirt off. You can run in a straight line. That's awesome. Good for you.
You chased down Budda Baker that one time. And it's
super cool. It's your coolest play you've ever made.
Somehow people are still holding on to that.
It's the coolest play you ever made. Easiest position to play in football. How about easiest position in all 3 major sports? We'll talk both. Coming up next, it's 96.5 The Fan. It's your home for the Kansas City Chiefs.
You're listening to Bob Fescoe.
I'm surprised nobody punched him in the jaw yet.
And Dusty Likens.
He's a hoe, and I want that known.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, the summer gets super hot, so now you need to get a Super Light. That's right. The team that brought you Surfside is back with something new. Meet Super Light, the new vodka plus aid canned cocktail. Super Light comes in 4 classic sports drinks flavors: fruit punch, orange, lemon lime, and blue chill. And ooh, that blue chill is money, baby. With just 90 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 bubbles, Super Light delivers a refreshing taste that's perfect for any occasion. From the golf course to the bar, at night, at the concert, a day at the ballpark, Super Light is here for the moment. Look for Super Light variety packs and individual flavors at stores and bars near you. You must be 21 and older. Please drink responsibly.
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Joint pain's awful when you're the person fighting through it, but I'm betting you aren't the only one affected by it. Maybe you love someone who struggles with joint pain, and you see it. You see what they don't say. You see what they've slowly stopped doing. It's July, and the days are long, and the light hangs around, and you want to be outside moving, playing, and living. But instead, you're sitting it out. Let's get your life back at QC Kinetics. That's what they do every single day. People who are stuck in that cycle of pain in their hips, knees, shoulders, and backs are finally stepping out of it with QC Kinetics. They offer regenerative treatments done right in the office. No surgery, no long recovery, and no putting your life on hold. Just real relief. So it's time for you to go see my friends over at QC Kinetics and get that free consultation. Call them at 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Located off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
Today's match day preview is presented by Fanatic Sportsbook. Download the Fanatic Sportsbook app today. Winning hits different here. Spain was the pre-tournament favorite at plus 450 and showed why against France with a dominant 2-0 performance. Spain's defense continues to frustrate opponents. They held a France team who scored 16 goals during this tournament to a clean sheet in their semifinal win. Spain has still only conceded 1 goal so far in the World Soccer Championship. Next up, France will play the third-place match in Miami on Saturday, and Spain will play in the final of the World Soccer Championship on Sunday in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Spain is a minus 145 favorite to win it all, and markets are giving them a 58% chance to lift the trophy. This has been your official Odyssey Sports Match Day preview, brought to you by Fanatic Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Listen in ahead of each match day for the latest betting insights from Fanatics all tournament long.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done, fast. We've got a huge variety of metals in stock, and we cut to size, fast. Bottom line, we get it done fast, so you get it done fast. Doesn't get easier than that. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or buy online at metalsupermarkets.com.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to learn more. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Kansas side Olathe, 35 southbound, slow from 119th Street down past 127th with an accident in the left lane. 635 southbound, still rolling from Gibbs to I-35. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Fescoe and Dusty. No Fescoe, no Dusty. Nathan Williams, Logan Weber, and myself, Mac Morey, with you until 10 a.m. We're just talking guys you are in or out on in football. Now we'll get to easiest position to play in football. Also the three major American sports. You can include hockey, too, if you want to do four major sports. That's totally fine. Easiest position to play in all of those. Now, I think I do need to add some caveats. First of all, this comes from Marlon Humphrey, cornerback for the Baltimore Ravens. Maybe an unpopular opinion, but pass rusher is the easiest position in football. So I saw this, I was like, interesting. Okay. And so that made me spur the question. I will say, let's take the caveat. We'll take punters out of it. We'll take long snappers out of it. We'll even take kickers out of it for this if you're really going to be, which I mean, maybe they should be included. Maybe they're not even the easiest position to play. Maybe kicker wouldn't be that. Maybe pass rusher would be. But what would you guys say? And I want to hear from the text line as well. 913-586-7965 is the number to the J Southland Tow Service text line. What's the easiest position to play in football? Because for me, I don't completely disagree with Marlon Humphrey. I'm kind of in on pass rusher being the easiest. As an edge rusher specifically, if you're Myles Garrett, your job is the same every time. Go get the quarterback. Now, you got to make sure you're not completely headhunting, and if it's a run to the outside, not go too fast and give them that crease, right? We see that with the Bosa brothers a lot, in my opinion. We see them just go off, and it's like, yeah, we wanted you to do that. Now we're going to run right past you. Andy Reid's had his way with Joey Bosa. It seems like a lot in those Super Bowls and even in the regular season when they've played. I kind of like the pass rusher call, though, as far as easiest position to play in football. I'm not totally against it.
I'm not either. First, prefacing by saying that we're not saying that these positions are inherently easy.
Thank you.
The conversation
Let's see you guys play
defensive
line.
The conversation is
Thank you.
It is the easiest. We're not saying that it is just easy. These are all incredibly difficult things to do. There's not a position on the football field that isn't incredibly difficult. Edge rusher is a good answer. That's probably the only answer I would give defensively. I feel like it's harder to play defense in football than it is to play offense in football. Maybe I'm wrong in saying that, but that is the feeling that I always got growing up playing the game.
I think in sports,
I would say
inherently it is. Yeah.
Running back feels like a good answer for this. You know, I mean, it's not physically easy. None of these are, but I mean, take ball from quarterback, run to designated hole. You know, read defender, read block, make decision. Feels like Isaiah Pacheco wasn't spectacular.
Number 10s make that look really hard the last couple of years. Really difficult.
Yeah. I mean, somebody in the text line says playing wide receiver in a triple option offense. Yeah, I feel that. I played wide receiver.
There you go.
I played wide receiver for 4 years in high school in a wing T offense. Yeah, super easy. Stock blocking is fluent in my lexicon. Let me tell you.
Get out there.
I speak stock blocking to the nth degree. What about offensive guard? I mean,
you got to pull though.
Yeah, you have to pull, but I think it's easier than tackle. I think it's easier than the center position, which is sort of considered the linchpin of your offensive line. They're the one, you know, at the highest of levels of football when you're playing in the NFL. Like Creed Humphrey's the guy that's working with Mahomes, making pre-snap adjustments, calling out blitzes. You know, he's
and
finding
snapping the football,
slants and stunts and things that are happening. So I feel like it's easier than the center position, and I would argue that it's easier than tackle. I mean, maybe right tackle. I don't know. I would say if I was to pick one that's not an edge rusher, I would say running back or I would say guard.
Man, you're giving no credit to the guards. When they're on the road, they got to turn around, look at the quarterback, make sure he's ready, look up at the clock, and then tap the quarterback on the center on the thigh there, let him know they're ready to go. That's hard stuff. I'm glad you omitted hockey because I don't feel like any of those positions are easy. I don't feel like that sport is easy.
No.
And even when I'm thinking about basketball, the only position that comes to mind is, hey, are you a two guard or a wing that just goes and posts up in the corner and just catches and shoots? If you're that guy, but not every team has that guy.
Yeah.
So is that a position? I can't give you a 1 through 5 number that's easy. My mind went right to the first baseman in baseball.
Oh.
And that's, I played
Over
first
right
base,
field?
part of my,
I would have thought,
Yeah.
my first thought was second base.
At least you don't have to cosplay as an athlete to play first base. I mean, you stick your old fat guy at first base because he's such a good hitter and he can't play left field anymore. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, does it take skill? Of course it does. All these positions do, but you don't have to turn a double play. You don't have to communicate with anybody. You kind of just cover the bag, and you got to get really good at one skill specifically, like digging the ball out of the dirt is way more difficult than I think the casual fan thinks that it is. But that's where my mind went immediately, was a first baseman is the easiest defensive position on the baseball field and probably one of the easier ones in sports. Although I think, Mac, you excluded things like kicker, punter. We should probably put the DH out there as well.
Yes,
I would
exclude the
Okay.
DH. Yeah. Yes, you're right. And also we've gotten a third string quarterback text. Yeah, if you're not starting or playing, you're excluded from this as well. 913 fullback, no ball, run forward, hit hole, smash people.
Yeah. Somebody else said shooting guard, and I would say even 10 years ago, absolutely, I would throw shooting guard onto this conversation. Playing off the ball, you're running over, you're running off screens, you're trying to get open, shoot the ball every once in a while, cut to the cup, see what you can make happen. Funny that we say shooting guard is the easiest position in basketball, yet so many people are so hyped about Jordan and Kobe all the time. But I digress. I just don't feel like you can have that argument with shooting guards anymore because basketball inherently has become very positionless anymore. There's no such thing as the shooting guard anymore. I mean, watch a shooting guard in today's NBA. James Harden is a shooting guard.
Anthony Edwards is a shooting guard.
Anthony Edwards is a shooting guard. I mean, those guys don't really run the quote-unquote point anymore. I think that it's really a difficult. If I was to pick a player in basketball, a position in basketball that's the easiest, power forward. Because nobody gives a damn about the power forward anymore. Power forwards are just centers nowadays. Like, the power forward doesn't exist.
Because half the centers bring the ball up the court now. And
they can shoot. And yes, exactly.
Yeah.
No, the power forward growing up was the coolest position because it felt like the most versatile. They were big, but they could stretch it out. And now that's just everybody. That's what you have to do if you are on the basketball court, unless you're that backup center who's 7'2" and comes in for 15 minutes to block and to set really good screens.
Shout out Zach Edey.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, he did a couple good shout outs there. Other than those guys, you need to have a jump shot at some level, a corner three at the very least. So yeah, the power forward position kind of just went away. Yeah, which kind of sucks. We grew up with that being so important.
Yeah.
MLB closer throws the ball very hard for 3 outs. Yeah, I get that. But you got to be clutch. You got to have that clutch gene. Coming up, we're going to talk about Brett Veach. I don't know if he's got that clutch gene. I think his seat should be just as hot as Andy Reid's.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
We'll talk about it on the other side. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Jack Caglione, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Weekday mornings starting at 6, right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Golden Oak Lending have been family members to us for the last decade plus. And I want you guys to be family members with Golden Oak Lending as well, because they are fantastic. And this July, they've got some really cool stuff going on at Golden Oak Lending, but it all starts with that free mortgage checkup. What you have to do is call Golden Oak right now, because a lot of us, we're all feeling it right now, right? That pressure, that financial strain that's on us right now, whether it's high interest credit cards or high monthly bills, or maybe you just need more breathing room in your budget and it's creating a lot of stress and anxiety. Let Golden Oak Lending get rid of all of that for you. Golden Oak Lending saves the average cash out customer over $1,100 per month. And right now they're going to give you a complimentary appraisal credit of up to $600 with a qualifying loan and refinance. So start with that free mortgage checkup from a local Golden Oak loan officer. They'll review your current mortgage and look at everything to see how they can make life easier for you. Call today or visit them at goldenoaklending.com. That's goldenoaklending.com, and let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Summer savings start now at Hy-Vee's 3-day summer sale. Save big this Friday through Sunday on summer favorites with hot deals throughout the store. Stock up and save big on fresh meat, produce, and other healthy finds. Want an easier way to shop? Order on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery and we'll do the shopping for you. Save time, save money. Shop your way during the Hy-Vee 3-day summer sale this weekend only.
The Hy-Vee Market Grill is the best dining value in town. We love it for breakfast on the weekends, and now Thursday is steak day. You're going to get that perfectly grilled and seasoned steak with a baked potato and a side of sweet corn for just $12. You can't beat that deal anywhere in town. That's why the Hy-Vee Market Grill is a must on Thursdays for steak day. Dine in, carry out, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You're going to love the Hy-Vee Market Grill as much as I do. Don't forget, Thursday, $12 steaks, only at the Hy-Vee Market Grill.
All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Today, mix of sun and clouds, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, high of 91.
Weather brought to you by Capital One. Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank guide. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run, because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Royals coverage sponsored by the Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull on July 18th. The Outlaws are coming. Don't miss the Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull, Saturday, July 18th at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. Big power, flying dirt, non-stop action. Just $25 at the gate. Search Show Me Shootout Warrensburg, Missouri on Facebook for details.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Kansas side, 35 southbound, still rolling from 435 down past 127th with an accident off to the left shoulder. 635 southbound, sluggish from Gibbs to I-35. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
This is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey Sports Station. This is Fescoe and Dusty.
I got Mahomes' balls in my hands.
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Oh, yeah, football.
From potholes to pop-ups, we got it covered.
Hey!
Here's Bob Fescoe.
Take a bite out of my ass.
And Dusty Likens.
Big nuts.
$7 a.m. on a Thursday, 96.5 The fan. What is going on, everybody? Nathan Williams, Logan Weber, Mac Morey with you for the next 3 hours here on Fescoe and Dusty. Fescoe Dusty will be back with me on Monday. They're each on their own vacations. Yesterday, Argentina did it again, made magic. They come back from 1-0 and they win the game in regulation in the 94th minute. I think it was extra time, some stoppage time. Unbelievable from them. And remember, our tournament scoreboard updates are brought to you by Surfside, made with real vodka and zero bubbles. It's not a seltzer. It's Surfside. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly. That final now between Argentina and Spain, España, Sunday at 2 p.m. Very, very excited about that. Okay, so I teased it, and let's pay off the tease. Brett Veach's seat should be just as hot as Andy Reid's. We talk about Andy Reid in this offense. Why has it deteriorated? Well, maybe the roster hasn't been what it should be either. We talk about Patrick Mahomes. We have some texts, whether it's national, whether it's here on the local text line, 913-586-7965. Patrick Mahomes is coasting off of 2022's performance. I think Brett Veach is the one coasting off of 2022's performance. You look at Brett Veach's drafts, he's the one who hasn't done a lot since 2022. And I'll ask you this, Logan. How many hits per draft do you think you need? Just hits, not stars, just guys who contribute to winning. Per draft, would you say?
If it's
successful draft.
If it's a successful draft, if you're looking at, I have 7 picks.
If
that's the consistent marker, I have 7 picks, 1 in each round. 4.
Okay.
4 would be the mark for me.
That's high.
I would agree that it is, but you're looking at an NFL today where, you've got 22 starters on both sides of the football, plus, kicker, punter, long snapper, what have you. But, NFL teams now, with the amount of throwing the football that is done, you need to have 2 competent running backs on a football team. You need to have at least 5 wide receivers that can get the job done. I would argue you need 2, if not possibly 3 tight ends. You need a couple of reserve offensive linemen to get things done. You probably need 7, if not 8 defensive linemen to have a solid rotation working. I would say you have a similar mark. You probably need 7 or 8 defensive backs to make things. You need 40 to 42 guys, not to mention you got to fill out your special teams with it. So 4 guys per draft out of 7 in a 10-year span, that's 40 contributors via the draft in a decade. That doesn't seem like a lot to me in my eyes, but maybe it is.
So doing just some quick research, hey, what's expected? What is a successful GM in the NFL? They were saying 30 to 40% hits, maybe 2 to 3 players a draft, which to me, that's fine. I think if you get 3 players a draft, that to me is great. 2 players is okay. If you're getting less than that, right? And usually I'll say that I'll even add a caveat to that, 2 or 3 hits, and one of those preferably is a star, is an immediate stud. He's a starter, and he becomes a star. And we can define star if we really, really want to. But Patrick Mahomes yesterday, he got to talk to Yahoo Sports, and he discussed his list reaction, his reaction to being lower on this list. But there's one sentence that I want to make sure that we listen to. Here he is.
There, you see the list. You were number 2, ranked by scouts and GMs, front office members across the National Football League. What's your response to that?
Yeah, you understand it. Coming off injury, and we didn't play as well as we wanted to the last few years. You're going to drop in the rankings of some sort. But at the same time, there's a lot of good quarterbacks on that list, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. You got to go out and prove it every single year. So it's my job this year to prove why I can jump up in the list back to number 1. You understand it. Coming off injury, and we didn't play as well as we wanted to the last few years.
The last few years is what he said. The last few years. I'll define future, that's 3 to 5. So the last 3 to 5 years is what he's speaking to. So when I get a text about we missed the Super Bowl 1 year, chill, the roster's not depleted, I'll let you know the performance of this offense and of this team has been eroding for more than just one season. And if you believe otherwise, you are lying to yourself. They were making the Super Bowl, they were making AFC championship games despite their deficiencies because Patrick Mahomes is so good, he was able to carry them. This is not a one-year issue offensively. Andy Reid and Brett Veach both are the majority to blame here. But how much of the pieces of the pie can we split up? Brett Veach, I think deserves a lot of the blame here for the Mahomes criticism specifically, because he has not done what he's needed to do to put this offense in a successful position since 2022. And you can take a look at his drafts, right? 2018 was his first draft. And we can go through even the players if you want to, but I've already done it for you, okay? 0 stars, 1 hit, the rest were busts. 2019, 0 stars, 1 hit, 1 okay player, and busts. 2020, 1 star, 2 hits, okay, solid. 2021, 2 stars, 2 hits, good. We're on a stretch. 4. 2022, 1 star, 7 hits. 8 players in 2022 became contributors for this team. It one of the best drafts of all time. If I did some more research, we could maybe find out it was the best draft class of all time. I don't have enough knowledge of every GM and every GM's draft. 2023, 0 stars, 1 hit, a bunch of busts. 2024, I'll leave the jury out for Xavier Worthy. I'll give Kingsley a hit if he's the starting guard this season and plays well again as a second-round pick, even though they drafted him as a left tackle, I'll say, in the second round, and you're getting a left guard. That's not usually what a second-round pick should be. And the rest weren't hits. I won't judge 2025, and I certainly won't judge this most recent draft class yet. Out of 48 picks, that is 18 contributors. That's a 37% hit rate. And I said to you before this conversation, 30 to 40. So he's right there. He's on the higher end of that. Not bad, not great. If you make 2022 a normal draft where he gets, let's say, 3 hits, that goes down to 29%. He is coasting off of one awesome draft that is now completely in the rearview mirror. You have to now forget all of that. Trent McDuffie, all of those contributors that we love and we got to know are now not on this team.
There's one guy.
Exactly.
One guy from that draft class is still a member of this organization, and that's George Karlaftis.
Exactly. And the one guy we all have serious question marks on. And I counted him as a hit. And I think that's fair. I think he's a hit. He had a 10-sack season. He's been a contributor. But has he been disappointing as a first-round pick so far? Absolutely.
Especially at the amount of money that he's been getting paid with this new extension.
Who hands out those extensions, those contracts? Brett Veach. You've got Nick Bolton, one of the most overpaid players in there. You're losing players, whether it be Joe Thuney, whether it be Justin Reed, because you decided to play players at lesser impact positions. Conversely, Howie Roseman, who I believe to be the best GM in football, 44 picks in that time to 48 since 2018. 20 contributors in my eyes is what I count. That is 45%. And there's not a draft where he had 4, 5, 6 hits. Every draft, he is doing it. And Brett Veach has to begin to do that, because if not, he should be the one on a hot seat right now.
I mean, I have for a long time defended Brett Veach, and I will continue to for the time being, but it's hard when you look at, you talk about the number of hits that he's had, and you kind of have to point out that a bulk of those occurred in a 3-year stretch, 2020, 2021, 2022. L'Jarius Sneed nabbing him in 2020. Nobody else was really of substance in that draft. 21, you get Bolton and Creed and Trey Smith. 2022 was a masterclass of a draft. But the 2023 class is a borderline dumpster fire.
It is a dumpster fire.
Going with the local kid and Felix Anudike-Uzomah, and it has done absolutely nothing. The guy's got 3 career sacks in 34 games played.
And I don't want to hear what Bob and Dusty say and what others I've heard say on this show. Well, it was in Kansas City, and, you want to make the people happy.
Look at Veach's track record at that position in the draft.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's bad. I didn't care about the draft being in Kansas City. I need you to draft the best player. And anybody with eyes would have told you that Felix Anudike-Uzomah was not the best player available at that point.
I think where Mac was going was Clark kind of overrode Brett Veach on that one. He wanted his moment, picking exactly a local kid, and I'm not in for that.
I don't care.
And at that point, it's about do your job.
Do your job.
Do your job, Brett. The owner's coming to you and saying a bunch of different. He's not going to fire you, big dog. You've won 2 Super Bowls. You've been to 3. Go out and get the best player available at that time. That was at that moment. Now he's at 1, 3, and been to 5. Yeah, Rashee Rice in the second round. Could it work? Yes. I would say it's a borderline hit had it not been for the injuries and obviously the off-the-field issues. Wanya Morris, Shamari Connor might be the best player in this draft.
No. If that's the case, then this is a dumpster fire.
That's what I'm saying.
Rashee Rice is the best player in this draft class.
Yeah, if Rashee could stay healthy and stay out of trouble.
Which, to your point, the stay out of trouble thing, we knew about that in college. There were inklings of knowledge of this when he was at SMU.
Which is part of the reason why he fell to the second round in the first place.
Which is part of the reason why you have to be careful about not drafting someone. So I am going to blame the general manager with that. I'm not going to say, oh, that's a personal problem. No, you knew that this could have been an issue, and the Chiefs try and fix everyone. I also saw a text, he falls in love too much with their guys, which is true. He does. The Jawan Taylor signing, what are we doing? The Orlando Brown contract when they first brought him in, that wasn't great. How often have we had tackle issues, wide receiver issues, running the ball issues, no pass rush? The same positions have struggled time and time again these last few seasons, and that is on the general manager.
It is. There have been a few underwhelming drafts in a row. I'm not going to try to defend that either, but I'll say it felt like the Chiefs paid for that last year. They started paying for it last year. They'll probably pay for it a little bit this year. They'll have more deficiencies than we're used to throughout Mahomes' career. But has the tide turned? Because I'm not a GM. You guys aren't GMs, but looking at the recent acquisitions, we feel good about the cornerback room with the addition of Delane. We feel good about the future of the D-line with the additions of Woods and R. Mason Thomas. The O-line with bringing in Simmons last year.
Very excited about the O-line,
We identified Kingsley Suamataia, even though that he was acquired 2 years ago. And, they put a Band-Aid through free agency on the running back room that we're happy with. It gives them 2 more years to find a more permanent solution in the draft. So really, outside of the wide receiver position, you're okay with the long-term outlook of this roster right now. So I look at it and I say, we're feeling the effects of a 2023 and 2024 failed draft classes, but have the more recent ones been better? And I think they have. I think there is a second leg of the dynasty here upcoming, probably starting next season, although I do think this year they'll be in competition for a playoff spot.
I hope that is the case, that these recent draft classes, because you're right, on paper it does seem better. It's easy for it to be on paper, right? Let's see it on the field. You mentioned the edge rushers. That's the one thing I disagree with. I don't feel great about it. We've got 4 edge rushers. We got 4, and Felix is going to be playing. Felix Anudike-Uzomah is going to be playing real snaps for this team because of the inability to get more depth at edge rusher position.
I feel better about the future of that room than I did last year.
Fair.
I don't think this year's going to be an overwhelming success.
And I mean, we've talked about the draft situation and how in the last few years it hasn't been great. The free agent signings have been up and down. I feel like we haven't talked about what is the worst part of Brett Veach's game as a general manager. Trade acquisitions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when was the last time he traded for somebody and it worked? Like, actually worked. I would argue Frank Clark. Like, that's the last time that Brett Veach took a swing on a trade target and it panned out for this organization. DeAndre Hopkins that was a disaster. Kadarius Toney was a disaster on top of a disaster on top of a dumpster fire. Bringing back McCole Hardman via trade. Bringing back Derek Nottie via trade. Bringing back Juju Smith-Schuster. Oh my goodness. I can't even remember the kid's name. The edge rusher that they traded for who never played. The kid from Michigan.
Uche.
Yes. Josh Uche from the Patriots.
Yeah,
and then we just never heard from him again.
I'll give that to Spags, which we can talk about on the other side too. I think Spags probably has some heat on the seat too. There's more meat on the bone in this conversation. I want to continue this, get more texts from you guys as well. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think Brett Veach a little overrated right now. We can talk more about it on the other side. 96.5 The Fan, it's your home for the Kansas City Chiefs.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, analytically the best morning radio show in Kansas City, as voted by people.
There's a lot of people talking out of their butt.
Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan. Listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you hear the news lately, the population of ticks is at an all-time high. We're looking at mosquito bites going out there, getting everybody. But if you call my friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, you won't have to worry about that this summer because you have the mosquito dome over your yard like we do. And we think it is so important to make sure that all of those bugs are taken care of this spring, this summertime when we're sitting outside. Nobody wants the mosquito bites, and you also want to keep your dog free of all those ticks ticks and fleas. The Mosquito Dome from Aspen Lawn and Pest Control can do just that. And then you can sit outside and enjoy your beautiful yard that Aspen created especially for you, just like they did for us. They took our awful yard and turned it into the best-looking lawn on the block. We absolutely love a relationship with Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, and they have college-educated professionals that know how to grow the best lawns in Kansas City. Right now, they're going to give you a free estimate and up to half off your first application when you mention this ad. So visit them now at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
The world's best soccer teams know success comes from having the right lineup on the field. AAA believes your insurance should work the same way. By bundling 2 or more policies, such as auto and home insurance, you can simplify your coverage and potentially earn a multi-policy discount. It's a smart way to save time, reduce costs, and keep everything under one trusted team. Visit AAA.com to build your winning lineup and see how much you could save with AAA insurance. That's AAA.com.
By now, you've heard that Booth Creek Wagyu steaks and beef are the best tasting, most flavorful cuts you've ever had. And if you don't believe us, try it for free. Try Booth Creek Wagyu anytime at 95th and Knoll or 135th and Metcalf. Stop by our store and we'll prepare a free mouth-watering sample of your selected choice cut. Heart-healthy, low-cholesterol, authentic American, full-blooded Wagyu steaks and beef. We know you'll love it as much as we do. Crafted for exceptional beginnings. Join the Booth Creek Wagyu revolution at boothcreekwagyu.com.
Is anyone paying attention to rural Kansas? Everything costs way too much, and the politicians in Topeka keep siding with big tech and give a thumbs up to these massive data centers. We need someone who will fight for our farmers and ranchers and all the working people of Kansas. Vicki Schmidt is running for governor. She's the insurance commissioner who is laser focused on lowering costs and taking a stand against these out-of-state tech companies. Vicki's running mate is Joe Newland. He's the former Kansas Farm Bureau president who has spent his career farming himself and advocating for our rural communities. Vicki Schmidt and Joe Newland will fight tirelessly to protect our land, water, and way of life. That's why the Kansas Farm Bureau has endorsed Vicki and Joe. Finally, someone who has our back. Vicki Schmidt and Joe Newland for governor and lieutenant governor. Defend US PAC paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Dustin McIntyre, Treasurer. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. DefendUSPAC.us.
Odyssey Sports is presented by ZipRecruiter. Find out why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/team.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
With the new My Lowe's Pro Rewards American Express card, earn 3 points per dollar spent on Lowe's qualifying purchases for the first 6 months after card account opening. Plus, save 5% every day on eligible purchases at Lowe's and earn points on eligible purchases everywhere else Amex is accepted. Card members get more at Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. 5% can't be combined with any other offer. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Points subject to loyalty terms at Lowe's.com/terms and credit reward terms at Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Visit Lowe's.com/business credit.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane, third generation owner at Shane Company. As a family jeweler for almost 100 years, we're known for doing right by our customers. Our legacy of integrity depends on it. We stand behind our engagement rings with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds, then negotiate for the best price. At Shane Company, we put you first because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
It's the Lawman, 3-time DUI award-winning attorney in Kansas City. You wanted results? Here you go. First-degree murder charge, dismissed. Felony DUI, dismissed. Felony to misdemeanor, multiple. Felony jury trial, not guilty. Call the Lawman, 816-816-9111. Take it away.
The Lawman gets results. Juggle long team. Call the Lawman. Let the fight begin.
Voted by Pitch and Casey Magazine, the choice of a lawyer shouldn't be based on advertisements.
Hey, it's Carter Jensen, and this is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Kansas side, 35 southbound in Olathe improving. Earlier, a problem past 127th has cleared, but still quite heavy around 119th Street. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
I love when the text line gets spicy. I love when people start to disagree. It feels like it's a 50-50 split right now in the J Southland Tow Service text line back here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. 913-586-7965 is that number to be a part of the conversation. 586-7965. We will get to one word here in about 8 minutes. We were just talking about, is Brett Veach overrated? And I was laying out the case that he's massively overrated, and he's coasting off of a draft that happened 4 years ago in 2022. 8 overall hits and 1 star drafted. Now, one of those 7 hits that I included, or one of those 8 hits, rather, in 2022 that I included is George Karlaftis. I'll add, I brought up Howie Roseman. We've got a couple of texts saying, oh, well, Howie Roseman in 23 and 24 has only had, this certain amount of hits. No, you're wrong. You don't know Moro Ojomo, who was the 7th-round pick in 2023? Yeah, he had as many sacks as George Karlaftis did last year. Okay, that's a 7th-round pick versus a 1st-round pick. So... And he's had a year less of experience as well. So, no, that's a hit. That's a guy right there in the 7th round contributing in his 3rd year in the NFL who brings six sacks to the table. As many as our 1st-round pick who's now paid like a top 15 edge rusher. And we're wondering if he should even be a starter sometimes at this point right now. So this roster has not improved year over year. And I think you've got to look at Brett Veach as the culprit to this. Yes, Andy Reid, his offense, it's gotten stale. There are things that need to get more spicy, but you can only work with the ingredients in your kitchen, right? And I think Brett Veach, some of it's gotten stale, it's expired, and Brett Veach has these last 2 drafts. We better hope those guys that didn't play in 25 start to contribute here in 26. And those guys in 26 right now, Monsoor Delane, R. Mason Thomas, Peter Woods, Kennedy, Emmett Johnson, these guys all need to start to contribute. If Brett Veach wants to be the guy that we anoint him as, 2026 better be pretty close to 2022 as far as contributors. And if we want this dynasty to extend, we've got to hope the same thing as well.
Yeah, because you've got crazy amounts of money that are being shelled out in a variety of different... You've got the highest paid right guard in football right now. You've got a center making big-time money. Not to say that he shouldn't, because Creed Humphrey's the best center in football, but you're paying him a lot of money. You're paying George Karlaftis a lot of money. I think it's going to be very interesting to watch how the Chris Jones discourse plays out next season with the out in his contract. If he continues to show signs of regression, do the Chiefs let him go? Do they try to rework his deal? Do they bring him back on the current contract and the amount of money that he's making? Listen, Brett Veach deserves a ton of credit for the dynasty that this Chiefs team has put together. Conversely, though, when things go poorly, you should shoulder a ton of the blame. That's how things work in sports, in business, in life. And for those that disagree, that's your prerogative. If you're defending Brett Veach, all the more power to you. But to say that he has been this overtly spectacular general manager and that he has done no wrong in the last 3 or 4 years, no, that's not true. That's not true. I know that the team's won 3 Super Bowls and they've been to 5. That's fantastic. And Brett Veach deserves his flowers for that. I hope he has a bust in Canton one day for what he's done. He obviously will end up in the Chiefs' Ring of Honor. But what have you done for me lately? And lately, the drafts have not been good. Lately, the free agent acquisitions have not been good. Lately, the trade acquisitions have not been good. And that falls squarely on the responsibility of the general manager, good, bad, or otherwise. So, yeah, he deserves to have some blame thrown his way right now.
I think these are the conversations that make sports talk radio good, because inevitably the question posed by Mac here, is he on the hot seat for his failures the last couple of years, is now turning into, by the text line and by Jay Binkley, who popped his head in the last break to tell me that he strongly, strongly disagrees with Mac Morey's take.
Oh, yes.
But the question they're answering is, hey,
don't like take.
Do you like Brett Veach as your GM? And that's not the question. Of course, I wouldn't change the last 8 years of Chiefs football.
Yeah, that's not what we're talking
about.
You
know, I think Brett Veach has been a successful general manager compared to the rest of his peers. How many have gone to 5 Super Bowls? Okay, I'm not saying Brett Veach has not been a good general manager. So we're kind of bleeding the two questions together. You're kind of inferring that Mac is asking a question that he's not asking here. Looking at the last couple of years, I am with you guys, though. I just think if we're all sitting here uplifting this 2026 draft class, which the book is still out on, you're right, but we all think it's going to be good. We think Josh Simmons is the left tackle of the future.
Absolutely.
So on and so forth. If this draft class fails, am I going to have the same? Because in 2023, 2024, I did walk away from those classes going, doesn't seem great. So I don't know. I wonder if the tide has turned here a little bit, and we're going to see the benefits of that a year, 2 years from now.
And I hope that is the case. Again, 909 says you sound like a Kansas City Chiefs hater. No, I'm doing this because I want this team to be good. I want this team to continue its dynastic run, and I believe the general manager has just as much control. I won't say more, just as much control over that as anyone, whether that's Andy Reid. That's it. You talk about the pillars on this team, too. We always talk about who are the pillars. It's Chris Jones, it's Travis Kelce, it's Patrick Mahomes. Those aren't Brett Veach's picks. That's not to say that he hasn't had all pros, but are they at positions that have impacted the wins that we've wanted it to? I don't know. A center, a guard, a cornerback that's not on this team anymore. Those positions aren't exactly the top 3, top 4 most impactful positions that you need in order to be competitive. A wide receiver? Haven't seen it.
Yeah, and I mean, somebody in the text line, and I think raises an interesting point and something that I feel like's kind of fallen to the wayside in this conversation. 913, do you think Brett Veach makes any decisions without Andy Reid's approval? Probably not. So, I mean, we're talking about from the standpoint of Brett Veach's seat should be as hot as Andy Reid's is. Yeah, because the two are a package deal in my view. I don't think Andy has free reign with everything he wants to do on the field. I feel like Brett Veach is following the keys of Andy Reid.
If your argument is Brett Veach is a puppet, then that doesn't give him immunity from criticism.
Exactly.
That's not how that works. I'm with you. I think Veach and Andy are in lockstep. I think Andy came before Veach. I think if Andy would have said, I demand this other general manager when he got here in 2013, Clark would have hired the other general manager. Like, I think obviously Andy Reid was the prized acquisition. But to say that then absolves Brett Veach of all, and so I would then, this would be a fun exercise to go back through the last couple of off seasons. What moves do we think Brett Veach was pounding the table to make that Andy Reid has shaken his fist and said, no, absolutely not, I'm stepping in? Because to me, that opportunity doesn't seem like it's been there. Of course, we don't know how much they disagree on drafting, on their scout, on their boards and things like that. But I don't know if I can get on board with, well, Andy calls the shots too, so Brett can get off the hook. I'm not on board with that.
No, I don't like that either. That is your job. That is what you get paid for. And we're going to talk about how great Brett Veach is. Then you can't on the other side, well, Andy Reid actually. Well, no, it doesn't work that way. It is and it isn't.
Yeah. Somebody in the text line said that they're a Vikings fan, and you try being a Vikings fan, you don't know how hard it is. And that's fair. We're extremely spoiled. And I'm sure to some people,
it's not fair, though,
this
Logan.
Conversation sounds spoiled, but
it's not fair to what we're talking about. It is not fair. It's not related.
It doesn't omit us from being able to criticize when things are wrong. We should still be able to point out when things aren't hitting, when things aren't working. And Brett Veach deserves the credit. When he deserves the adulation when things are great. When things aren't, the criticism comes pouring your way. Yes, and that's how sports work. That's how anything works.
And I don't judge a GM based off of Super Bowls. I've said this before, but I don't look at our Super Bowl wins and go, man, Brett Veach, way to go. I look at Patrick Mahomes being the best quarterback of all time, not the greatest, the best. I look at Andy Reid in his prime these last few years being the best offensive mind we've ever seen. I look at Steve Spagnuolo being a top 5 defensive coordinator of all time. I look at those things. I don't look at Brett Veach being like, oh man, thanks for George Karlaftis and thanks for Trip McDuffie and like, thanks for these awesome players. I don't look at that way. And maybe I'm wrong in that way, but I don't look at these Super Bowls and go, man, thank you so much, Brett Veach. No, Patrick Mahomes is the reason we're here, and Brett Veach didn't even pick him. And I know they can come out with a Disney documentary about it all and have it be this hunky-dory fairy tale where he left the note on Andy Reid's desk and all this stuff. Reality is reality. John Dorsey was the general manager when that happened. Nathan, let's get to one word.
One word.
First name is blank, and he goes on a cruise. He goes on a Caribbean cruise.
Katie Holmes.
No. Ah!
Are you listening?
What's your least favorite thing about working with yourself?
Body odor. You get one word.
On the count of 3, name your favorite dinosaur. 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
This is one word on Fescoe and Dusty.
1, 2, 3.
Oatmeal raisin. One word brought to you by Maloney, Sandtrap, and The Landing. 3 awesome local spots that have delicious food, cold beverages, and TVs galore to watch your favorite sports team. All 3 have outdoor patio seating as well to enjoy this wonderful weather. I was at Maloney's yesterday, got the honey mustard chicken wrap, enjoyed the all-day drink deal specials, all available on Wednesday. Any drink deal they offer during the week, available on Wednesdays at Maloney's. I enjoyed that over there. Today at The Landing on Thursday, you can get an $8 cheeseburger and fries, plus happy hour 3 to 7 p.m. plus live music on the outdoor patio from 7 o'clock to 10 p.m. over there out at The Landing in Liberty. I just had to read this text real quick. Hey, Vikings fan, try being a Cleveland Browns fan.
Oh, poor guy.
Now we're just getting fan competitions of misery. One word on... We'll go back to the audio that kind of brought up this topic in the first place. This is Mahomes commenting on the QB list ranking that had him 2 and as low as number 9. This was Patrick Mahomes.
There you see the list. You're number 2, ranked by scouts and GMs, front office members across the National Football League. What's your response to that?
Yeah, I mean, you understand it. I mean, coming off injury and we didn't play as well as we wanted to the last few years. You're going to drop in the rankings of some sort. But at the same time, there's a lot of good quarterbacks on that list, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. You know, you have to go out and prove it every single year. So it's my job this year to prove why I can jump up in the list back to number 1.
One word.
Cataloged. He's doing the professional political thing. Yeah. He's trying to play it off like he's not absolutely fuming inside, like that pit in it, that fiery pit in his stomach isn't there. It's getting cataloged. It's there in the back of the brain. He'll be remembering that as we get closer and closer to the start of the season. And don't be surprised if, we start seeing the fingers come out and pointing the number of touchdowns, like, oh, I'm the 5th best player in football. How about my 5 touchdowns today? He knows. He knows. If he's being professional about it, good for him. That's not Mahomes is media trained. He knows what he's doing. But don't tell me that the guy's not absolutely pissed at this ranking.
Yeah, I was going right to where you were going there at the end as far as his media training. I'll go savvy. I don't think we've seen anyone as well versed in PR as Patrick Mahomes is. He knows exactly how to give you a nothing answer on paper while still saying, I've been throwing to nobody since Tyreek Hill left. I've been throwing to nobody these last couple of years. I've won a lot in spite of it, but it crumpled. We went 6-11. So yeah, I deserve to be number 2 on the list. I'll go savvy.
Yeah, smart. I mean, it's just Patrick Mahomes just doing what he does, professional at its finest. Also, if you forgot Tyler Palco as well to the 918 who says we're young and spoiled. You could keep going. Brody Croyle in there. You could throw a couple more in there. You could throw all the playoff losses
Buddy
we got to see too.
We're young and spoiled. We've never been through hard times.
I just
really
don't understand. All the mid 2000s, late aughts, we were there for all of it. It's all of it. How about this? Field Yates was on yesterday. He mentioned Diggs to Kansas City. One word on Stephon Diggs to Kansas City. Do you like it or not?
My one word, preferable. By that I mean I like him as an option more than any of the others that are available. Deebo Samuel is an intriguing fit in Kansas City, but there's been injury concerns throughout his career, and I'm not exactly sure what his fit is, because he does things, albeit in a different way, but he has similar effects on the football field the way that Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy do, in a much different body, in a much different athletic frame, albeit. But I just don't know if he fits with what the Chiefs want him to do and looking for something a little bit different. Curtis Samuel, I don't feel like he moves the needle. And Tyreek Hill, yeah, the homecoming sounds all well and good after he definitely burned some bridges here in Kansas City, but he's not going to be able to affect or impact this football team for probably the first 8 weeks of this season, and that's looking at it optimistically. Bringing in Stephon Diggs could give you a full season of a guy, and I mean, he said the other day that he's not sure there's a better wide receiver 2 in the NFL than he would be. You know, he doesn't consider himself a wide receiver 1 at this point in his career. He probably does, but he's doing the political thing with his answer. Outside of maybe T. Higgins, I'm not sure I disagree with that sentiment. So I think Stephon Diggs is maybe the best option the Chiefs have if they're looking to bring in more wide receiver help.
Finite is my one word. As long as it's a 1-year deal, I'm cool with them adding anybody to this wide receiver room. Talked earlier about the big overhaul of that room coming next offseason. Bring in Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel, all of them, 2 of them. I don't care. Try it out. It's not like this is a wide receiver room that we're going to nickname because they're all so cohesive or because they have some overwhelmingly good trait. Try it out. I think Ayuk would be a waste of money because I don't think he's playing football again, but you get my point. Try anybody out for this season. The wide receiver room needs it.
Yeah, love it. Completely agree. Argentina was able to come back yesterday. Again, I mean, they just keep on doing it. They were down 1-0 pretty much the whole second half, and they come back in the last 10 or 15 minutes of regulation and stoppage time. It now makes Argentina and España the final Sunday at 2. One word on Argentina versus Spain in the final.
I was going to say messy-less because my one word yesterday for the going into the game was messy, but I'll say storybook.
You didn't say it like that.
I didn't. No. Messy!
Thank you.
No, I'll say storybook would be my one word for this because it just feels like we have that opportunity. You know, we have that chance to get that sort of Michael Jordan final episode of The Last Dance for Messi at the FIFA Men's World Cup, where if he goes out and they get the win on, what will that be, Monday? Or no, Sunday. Sorry,
Sunday at 2.
Yeah, Saturday. Tomorrow is the third place game.
Saturday's the third place game. Yes.
So you go out and Messi wins the World Cup against Spain in an incredible fashion at 38 years old, one of the oldest players in this tournament. And to go out and win the World Cup as the best player on the best team, I guess you could say, where there are no other like massive names in the field, that would be really cool to see. Do I think that happens? Honestly, no. Because I have been floored by how good Spain has been in this tournament. Didn't hear a ton of conversation about them coming in. Like, I heard a ton about Norway and England and France and Argentina. Spain was kind of coming in as more of an afterthought despite being a top 10 team in the world, and their defense has been ridiculous.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
My one word would be hatch. Isn't the saying you don't count your chickens before they hatch? Spain is absolutely the best team in this tournament, and it's not close. I thought France was close. They're not. Spain's defense is absolutely insane, but Argentina keeps finding a way to win, and the GOAT went off his right foot yesterday, cross into the box, perfect placement. Argentina wins in stoppage time. They just keep finding a way to do it, so don't count your chickens before they hatch. Hatch is my one word.
Love it. Love it. Coming up, we're going to play Smat Again. That is one word, brought to you by Maloney's, Sandtrap, and The Landing. 3 great local spots that you should go visit. Wonderful food, wonderful cold drinks, and TVs galore. Today at The Landing, $8 cheeseburger and fries, happy hour from 3 to 7, and live music on the outdoor patio from 7 to 10. You should be there. $8 cheeseburger and fries. Damn, that's a good deal. Next, we're going to smash it or pass it. Bob Fescoe had a tweet, and I want to ask you guys, are we smashing or passing? Coming up next, 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Carter Jensen, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, weekday mornings starting at 6, right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
The Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 are growing their team, seeking quality men and women who want to build Kansas City's new legacy.
Get exceptional career opportunities, world-class training, and unmatched benefits while laying groundwork for a stable, rewarding future in the sheet metal industry. Whether you have experience or are just starting out, they're 100% committed to developing the best-trained, most highly skilled workforce in our region. Be part of building the future of Kansas City. Get started today at sheetmetal2.org.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where supplies start at just 25 cents?
Staples has the latest laptops with up to 40% savings.
I may hug the cashier.
So embarrassing.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples with up to 40% off select tech. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
I hope you're sitting down. The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on monthly premiums, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Matt B. and KC at BBS Insurance's Freedom of Choice plan now. You don't have to wait. Their plan lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and is 30 to 60% lower cost than most Obamacare plans. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you're a small business owner or pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Matt B. and KC for an instant quote over the phone. 816-205-4664. That's 816-205-4664. Or go to bbsinsurance.net. That's bbsinsurance.net. They will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Northland, 35 southbound, off again on again heavy from about Vivian down past Antioch. I-70 westbound, sluggish into downtown from Prospect. Stays slow on to 670 towards Broadway. Kansas side, 435 southbound, starting to get heavy around Johnson Drive. Off again on again, slow stuff to Midland with construction. Allen Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Fescoe and Dusty, 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Nathan Williams, Logan Weber, and Mac Morey with you until 10 a.m. I'll be with JT Noah tomorrow. We'll talk all things World Cup, Chiefs, maybe a little bit of Royals. We'll figure it out. We'll have some fun tomorrow. Of course, our tournament scoreboard updates brought to you by Surfside, made with real vodka, zero bubbles. It's not a seltzer. It's Surfside, must be 21. Please drink responsibly. All right, it's time for some Smash or Pass, baby. So Smash or Pass, Booth Creek Wagyu, KC's best steaks, now with 2 locations, 95th and Knoll and 135th and Metcalf. Shawnee Mission Ford on a mission to do more online at ShawneeMissionFord.com. Now, I don't even know if I told you this, Nathan. We have a little contest here. I'm going to have it be caller number 5. When I play this drop later on in the segment, caller number 5 will get a chance. We'll win some $50 to Booth Creek Wagyu when you hear this drop next in the segment.
Brett Veach has the most underrated chest I've ever seen.
When you hear that drop again, I'll play it one more time for you.
Brett Veach has the most underrated chest I've ever seen.
Underrated chest, overrated draft picks. Again, you be caller number 5 later on when we play that segment. Speaking of Bob Fescoe, he had a tweet a couple of days ago. I missed it until yesterday. I guess it was 2 days ago, and I only saw it yesterday. This is what he says. Smash or pass this tweet from our guy Bob Fescoe, at Bob Fescoe on Twitter. The home run derby has run its course. Time for Major League Baseball to toss that to the curb and come up with something else. They have enough talented folks at MLB to come up with something better. The derby is tired. One word. Smash or pass? Are we smashing or passing that?
We're passing that.
I think I'm passing that, and I think I'm passing it because I don't have the answer. Not that I love the Derby like I used to, but it also feels kind of like a classic. I'm probably passing that take from Bob.
Yeah, I'm passing that take because, I've been racking my brain. I've thrown a couple of ideas onto the board, and I don't like them. I mean, like, what are you going to replace the home run derby with? Like, I know, like, the NFL, like, you know, with their Pro Bowl games or whatever, they used to do, like, the longest throw by a quarterback. Like, are you going to do the fastest pitch for pitchers? What, so you can watch somebody absolutely dismantle their elbow on national television in an all-star game format? Like, it's the best you've got in a day and age where guys are unwilling to participate in events like this because of the risk of injury that exists. And that's just the way it is anymore. Like, the NFL did away with the actual full-fledged game and the tackling because Sean Taylor one time decided to try to take a punter's head off his shoulders. Guys don't want to do that anymore because they are sacrificing millions and millions of dollars on the line for nothing. Like, can we be honest about that? As much as we'd like to see the All-Star game and the Pro Bowl be entertaining or the way that we remember it, it's just not that way anymore. And so I don't know what the means of replacing the Derby would be. This feels like the best that baseball has got available.
Bob probably wants a bunting contest to own the nerds. It's a lost art.
It's a lost art.
Who's got like a home to first sort of contest? Who's got the fastest home plate to first base? Like, maybe you could do something like that.
That's good,
I don't know. I don't know how you would
a relay race, a hit your cutoff man race.
Yes,
yeah.
Your cutoff man. Yeah, fundamentals.
A home run robbing contest. Like, I don't know how you could manufacture that to make it like a level playing field, but like the home run derby is it's the best you got. Like, the NBA has the slam dunk contest and the 3-point contest because that's the best you've got.
They should have college baseball players or other athletes in the outfield for the derbies, and a robbed home run should count. If you can rob a home run in the home run derby,
there we go.
It should count.
Okay,
1,000,000%.
I like that. See that? Yeah, we could add to it. We could make it more fun. We can spice it up. There's no question. But no, passing on getting rid of the home run derby, absolutely. Okay, I'm glad we're unanimous on that because, yeah, come on, the home run derby, it was fun. I quote tweeted yesterday saying, like, as a casual fan getting more and more into baseball these last few seasons, it was great for me. It brought me more into the game. I actually really liked it. So I think that matters, and it should matter to Major League Baseball as well. Smash or pass third place game in the World Cup. We know we got Argentina and we got Spain Sunday at 2, Saturday at 2. We've got France and England. Smashing or passing a third-place game. The vibes are low. This is the coach for France. Nobody of these players, nobody of the French players want to play for this match. They want to play in the final. We gave everything to play in the final. Are we smashing or passing a third-place game just in its, idea as a whole?
As a whole, the idea of a third-place game, I'll smash on that. Third place game in the World Cup, I'm a little bit more lenient on the pass because we all know why they are playing a third place game. It's all for the sake of the monetary value. But I mean, it's one of those things like growing up here in Missouri. I don't know if Kansas does things differently, like with their high school state championships and things like that, like basketball, softball, baseball, volleyball. If you lose in your semifinal game at state, you get an opportunity the next day to play again for third place. And I find that entertaining. I somewhat wish that college basketball, instead of expanding to the 76 teams, could have done something like that, like have a third place game in the men's and women's Final Four, or make it like a best 2 out of 3 series,
that'd be crazy.
What have you. I don't know. I inherently like the idea, especially at lower levels like high school and things like that, where you go out and you lose in the semifinal. There's a group of seniors that still have an opportunity to end their high school careers with a win. I kind of enjoy that a little bit.
Care about it in terms of we end on a high note. I don't know. Your season's going to end good or bad.
Fair.
You win it all or you don't. But as far as the third place game goes and it's ideal, Mac, I'm going to smash as well. It's international competition.
Smash.
That's the tradition. In the Olympics, you award a bronze medal.
Yeah, I like that.
In the World Cup, you figure out who finishes third. Does it really matter? No. Am I going to watch? Maybe. It is all for the money. Agreed. But I think I'm smashing.
I think I'll smash for similar reasons, and yeah, I'll agree. If it's on, if I'm free, if I'm not outside and it's a nice day and there's on a TV, I'll watch it. But it's not appointment television. As Sunday at 2, I'm already getting my plans together. My brother and I think my sister and I, we're going to get together and watch that game. That'll be appointment television on Sunday. So obviously every day it's National Something Day. So I looked it up. We got a couple foods National Day. It's National Dole Whip Day. We smashing or passing Dole Whip?
I don't have a ton of experience with Dole Whip in my day, but when my wife and I lived in Springfield, there was a place where you would go and they would house make the Dole Whip in front of you. And that was really good.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I really did enjoy that. But if you're talking about like the Dole Whip container that you buy from the store, I'm a straight up pass on that. But
okay.
House made Dole Whip is a smash.
I've never had it.
Fair.
But I love soft serve. I love all things like frozen, sweet, summer treat. Give me like an icy ice cream, Dippin' Dots, whatever. So I can guarantee you that I'm smashing the Dole Whip.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm smashing the Dole Whip. It's not as good as a traditional soft serve or frozen. I've only had it a couple times, but I will smash it. It's still refreshing. If it's put in front of me, absolutely I'm there. Okay, I have not had this. Like you, Nathan, I've had corn fritters. It's National Corn Fritters Day. They're fried cakes of dough or batter made of or containing a featured quantity of corn kernels. I'll tell you, I'm smashing this. This looks really good. Fried buttery dough, I'm pretty much going to be in on whatever you insert inside of said fried dough. So, smash.
I think I've had these before. The little... if you Google them, some of them are like round with like corn kernels stuffed in there.
Yeah.
Like a little fried ball, like a hush puppy looking thing.
Yeah.
I've had those before and they're delicious.
They look
Anything
really
fried.
good.
You fry a pickle, you fry some cheese. I'm smashing it.
So I have had corn fritters before. And what I can tell you is while they do taste slightly different, the only difference between a corn fritter and cornbread is one's baked and one's fried. And for me, both of them are a hard pass. Pass to the nth degree. I do not like them at all. I'm not a huge fan of corn not on the cob, if that makes any sense. Like individual corn kernels, I don't like it. But a corn on the cob, I do thoroughly enjoy that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because of the taste consistency or like the actual the soft of the breading and then I don't know. It weirds me out. I don't like it. Pass.
Brett Veach has the most underrated chest I've ever seen.
Calling number 5. Go get some Booth Creek Wagyu. You got to make sure you tell Nathan he's awesome and that he's going to kill it tonight when he hosts. And hopefully you listen from 6 to 9 p.m. on After Hours. That is smash or pass here on 96.5 The Fan. Coming up next, what sports opinion makes you just literally walk away from the conversation? Put your hand up, roll your eyes. I can't handle it. I'm not even going to talk ball with you anymore. What are those sports opinions? Be a part of the conversation, 913-586-7965. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan. It's your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Tune in to hear Royals insider Josh Vernier every Monday at 8:20
Professor Vernier sitting up here, bloviating.
on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
I'll tell you what, our family loves the Hy-Vee Market Grill, especially on the weekends. We love getting up and going for breakfast, getting eggs, getting hash browns, and filling our bellies right from the start of the morning every single weekend. But the Hy-Vee Market Grill has so much because it's the best dining value in town. Check out the daily meal deals from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Sunday. That's every day of the week. My absolute favorite is Steak Thursday with a perfectly seasoned steak, baked potato, and sweet corn for only $12. Dine in or carry out, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You're going to love the Hy-Vee Market Grill as much as I do, only at Hy-Vee.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Look who has extra pep in their step.
Well, I just finished my to-do list. Gas tank is full, tonight's dinner plans are set, grocery shopping is complete, and I even got everything for those barbecues and pool parties we have planned. You know what's even better?
What?
Every one of those stops gets me a bit of money back.
How are you doing that?
By using Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app where I earn cash back on gas, groceries, and dining out. They even gave me a cashback bonus on my first grocery trip.
So that extra pep comes from all that cash back. Looks like I need to download Upside.
You really do.
Earn cash back on errands and everyday essentials. Download Upside and use promo code SNAP5 to earn an extra $5 cash back on your first purchase at one of over 100,000 available locations. That's promo code SNAP5 for an extra $5 cash back. Remember, use promo code SNAP5.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. BALD.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I'm focused on reducing taxes for Kansans. You should keep more. My BALD plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the BALD Plan to Decrease Property Taxes. Conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit scottschwab.com/bald to learn more. Paid for by Schwab for Governor, Jim Felter, Treasurer.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
For over 36 years, Metal by the Foot has been your source for steel, aluminum, brass, and stainless. Located in Casey and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Life's better in a Ford. This update brought to you by Shawnee Mission Ford. Kansas side, 435 southbound, bogs down around Holiday Drive-In. Just stays very slow down past Shawnee Mission Parkway with construction. Whether you're headed across town or across Kansas City, enjoy the drive. This report is brought to you by Shawnee Mission Ford. Visit ShawneeMissionFord.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Hey, it's Carter Jensen, and this is your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station. To Fescoe and Dusty.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
A show that, analytically, exists between 6 and 10 weekday mornings on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Oh, buddy.
Live from the studios that brought you.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Here's Bob Fescoe and Dusty Likens.
Back here, it's 8 o'clock on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. No Dusty Likens, no Bob Fescoe. They'll both be back in with me on Monday. We'll have our original trio back together. For now, you get this wonderful new trio. Nathan Williams, Logan Weber, Mac Morey here with you, talking all things sports. And, of course, football coverage on 96.5 The Fan is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years guaranteed. Xfinity. Imagine that, and we'll get back into some Chiefs stuff because we've talked concerns and questions with the Chiefs this week. I do want to talk about what we're confident about in this roster because I'm not a Chiefs hater as accused on the text line. And I asked you guys a question before we're coming back to break. What sports opinion makes you just walk away? My eyes are rolling. I can't control it. My hand is up and waving. I have to look away. Sorry, man. I can't talk to you anymore. I'm not going to say anything nice. I have to go away from you right now. What sports opinions, 913-586-7965, make you just have to immediately stop listening? Mahomes can't be efficient from the pocket is one for me. I just have to immediately stop. He's an improviser-only quarterback, and he can only do it outside the pocket. I'm out. I'm immediately done with you. We talked about this a little bit earlier when we were our in or out conversation, which we might do a little bit later. Lack of patience on quarterbacks or players in general. If you are out on a player after being, especially when it's a first-round pick and a guy that we've talked about for a year and a half, and then you watch him for a month, and then all of a sudden, everything before that we knew about this player is completely wiped away, it feels like that is something that's taking over in sports. I'm out. And then if LeBron James, and I don't want to get the text line going too much, sorry, Logan, it's going to happen. If LeBron James is not at least number 2 overall in your all-time rankings, I'm just walking away. I just don't have time for it. I just don't have time for it. So there's just a few there from my end where I'm just, I have better things to do with my day. That's it.
Yep. I want no part of what you're saying. Like,
yes, exactly.
If the argument is LeBron is number 1, okay, I'll hear it. If the argument is Michael Jordan is number 1 and LeBron's number 2, I'll hear it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If LeBron is not number 2 in that top, if it's not Jordan LeBron or LeBron Jordan,
then we're done.
You are not a person that I should be conducting business with. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I cannot do. I mean, I've had all manner of names thrown my way over the course of my lifetime. You know, I mean, I've had, obviously in recent years, it's been a lot more conversation about Kobe Bryant that's been thrown. I can remember being a kid and having people arguing that Larry Bird deserved to be in the GOAT conversation. I'm a lifelong Celtics fan. Stop it.
Yeah, no.
Stop. Enough.
No.
Enough. I'm not doing this with you right now. I'm a lifelong Boston Celtics fan. I would say Magic Johnson was a better player in that era than Larry Bird was.
He was.
I'm being so honest with you right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to hear that. Wilt Chamberlain's name being thrown out. Stop it. Bob Cousy couldn't dribble with his left hand. Stop it. Same goes for Bill Russell. I'm just here with it. I cannot listen to that NBA GOAT conversation discourse if it doesn't start with Jordan, LeBron, no matter what the order is. Those are the top 2. Nobody else is close.
All right, so a couple have resurfaced this summer with the big soccer tournament that I don't like. Offsides is dumb. Stoppage time makes no sense.
Totally.
That's just not true. I mean, if you think about why those things are in place for like 30 seconds, you're going to get to a reasonable conclusion about why they're good for the game of soccer. But the one that just is a dead stop for me is when people say, I just don't like baseball because it's too slow moving. There's just no action. First of all, yes, the ball moves in baseball more than it does in football. But also, I just hate the blaming the game of baseball. Especially a game that has done a lot in recent years to appease the common fan and make it more appealing to them in speeding the game up. It's okay to say you don't like baseball. All right, that's fine with me. But I can't stand when people are like, baseball is too slow of a burn for me. You know what you will really hate then? Punt, timeout, sack, timeout, 2-minute warning,
yes.
Timeout, halftime after a 3 and out.
Totally.
Don't say you like that and then say I don't like baseball. So that's always gotten under my skin.
Yeah, the double standards with that is just ridiculous. I think there's 9 minutes of action in a 3 hour and 20-minute football game. 9 total minutes of actual playtime happening. Because the clock's running and there's commercials and then there's the punt, all that stuff that's happening, not actual football being played. So I'm totally with you. The double standards go crazy there. Logan, you have a couple good ones up there.
Yeah, I mean, one of the ones that I've got, and this is one that you hear a lot from younger people, but as you get older, you realize just how asinine the argument is. When you hear people say, and like the first time I heard it was like 2008, 2009, when that Detroit Lions team went 0-16. And the discourse on Alabama, who was the national champion that year, could beat Detroit.
Good one.
Like the best college sports team could beat the worst professional sports team in that respective sport is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Like, as good as that player, as good as that team in college might be, the best player on that team, like if we're talking college football, the best player on a college football team might, as a rookie, like coming in at that same age, be the 20th, 15th best player on that team. If he's lucky. No, please stop. Every guy that's on these NFL teams was one of, if not the best players on his college team back when he was 20, 21, 22 years old. You're not going to throw a 19-year-old lining up head-to-head with a 31-year-old, even if he's on the worst team in football, and expect that man to have any semblance of success for one snap, let alone multiple. Stop it. They're going to lose 50-0. I just don't want to hear that.
And we always act like, well, not we, because I hate that take as well. They, whoever they are, the ones that give that take out, always act like this year's different. Like normally it's a dumb take, but Indiana could have beat the Jets this year. And they always cloak it and then give the same asinine take. And that's just, it's so bothersome.
Yeah. So that's one that I had. Another one that I had was, it feels like in the last 15 years probably, and it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. I love the movie Moneyball, but it's done irrevocable damage, I think, to people's brains a little bit.
My favorite sports movie.
It's up there for me, absolutely. But when I think...
Heck yes.
It's not close.
Let's go.
When I think about people who are analytics-only people when it comes to sports, like all they're looking at is the numbers, all they're looking at, like for baseball, like the Salvador Perez argument of, he's not in the Hall of Fame because his wins above replacement isn't where it needs to be. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He's not getting into the Hall because of one made-up stat and formula. Meanwhile, he's got a higher WAR than Roy Campanella, who's in the Hall of Fame. So should we take him out by the same standard? Versus the people who are against the numbers and the analytics at all, and they go purely off of the eye test. No, you can't have it either way. You're doing yourself and your team, your organization, your fandom a disservice if you are just one or the other.
Preach.
The numbers tell one half of the story. The eye test tells the other. Use both of them as a tool, and I think we're watching a little bit of that happen right now in front of our very eyes with a certain team in blue that happens to play up the street here a little bit with the Kansas City Royals, where I feel like Matt Quattrero is much more of the former. He is very much of a analytics purely mindset rather than the no analytics at all. And, you can try to Billy Bean and Moneyball it as much as you want. Hard to replicate what that man did for a brief amount of time with the A's. Like, at a certain point, the eye test needs to be used as well to give you the whole story and the full picture, not just one half of the story.
It's so obvious that both are needed, or else we would all be great. We would all be GMs if it was just one or the other. Oh yeah, that guy's super athletic, he looks awesome. Or oh yeah, that guy's numbers are great, and then we'd all be able to figure this out. That's what makes sports so fun, is that it's difficult. It's that you don't know what's going to happen. That's why we watch.
The Royals, boy, did they go from one extreme to the other. With Matheny, and you just strong-arm everything, and we're going to fight and clinch. And this June 16th game, if we don't win this, your ass is on the line. And then Quattro's like, hey, if it's a 51% chance, I'm rolling with it every single time.
Exactly.
It's like, there's a middle ground here, guys. Like, helping to interpret what we're seeing is great. You can use numbers. You should use numbers. But also sometimes a guy's in a groove. I just duh, right?
Yeah, and JJ Picollo is part of that too, because he's overseen both of these eras now where it's like, wait, so you're cool with this big switch up too, this juxtaposition. It is very, very strange. We've got a couple of texts coming in, some really, really good ones. I can't take anyone seriously. It says Justin Herbert's a top 10 quarterback. Top 10 quarterbacks don't blow 4-score leads in the playoffs. Okay, well, he is a top 10 quarterback. It's okay, though. 816, when someone calls SGA a free throw merchant, I cut off all communication.
That person and I should not talk.
I love that one. Oh, you're SGA free throw merchant guy?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then we probably shouldn't talk.
The guy's an egregious flop artist, and I can't take it.
That's ridiculous, and you're wrong, and that's okay. Damian Williams should have won MVP over Mahomes. Absolutely, that's ridiculous. Yeah, Mahomes was the MVP. Gosh, I can't believe you think that, Logan. That's too bad.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. No, that really, it does hurt me to hear you say that.
Up. No,
yes, exactly. No, exactly right. Man, that stinks.
I've thrown off this man's entire psyche.
Seriously,
right now.
I can't even. What? I
He's
thought you
having
knew
a
basketball.
He's having a control
gosh.
delete reboot right now.
I am having to refresh right now. Okay, I'm going to take the break to do that on the other side, though. We are going to talk about concerns and questions with the Chiefs this week. Or we've talked concerns and questions with the Chiefs this week. On the other side, we're going to talk, what are we confident about in this roster? What do we look at with this 53 and go, oh, yeah, that's something that we can lean on, other than 15? We'll talk about it on the other side. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
This is Fescoe and Dusty.
Brett Veach has the most underrated chest I've ever seen.
On your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, the summer gets super hot, so now you need to get a Super Light. That's right. The team that brought you Surfside is back with something new. Meet Super Light, the new vodka plus aid canned cocktail. Super Light comes in 4 classic sports drinks flavors: fruit punch, orange, lemon lime, and blue chill. And ooh, that blue chill is money, baby. With just 90 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 bubbles, Super Light delivers a refreshing taste that's perfect for any occasion. From the golf course to the bar, at night, at the concert, a day at the ballpark, Super Light is here for the moment. Look for Super Light variety packs and individual flavors at stores and bars near you. You must be 21 and older. Please drink responsibly.
For all the things you have to do and places you need to be, let Uber take you there. Because you had just one more 3 rounds ago. Because the 5 a.m. flight seemed like a good idea at the time. Because check engine lights always appear at the worst possible times. And because parking downtown is a nightmare. Because there are nights out, airport trips, and car troubles in your area, there are drivers in your area. Uber. Request a ride today. Wait time varies. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At Heartland Men's Health, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality. Using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, PSA and T-test, and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Future therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi? For what?
Better not to know.
Get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in your price for 5 years and see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
While the world watches the stars at the FIFA World Cup this summer, Hyundai has its eyes on the next generation of talent. The future stars who are already turning heads at age 14. Because next doesn't wait for an invitation, and neither do we. Hyundai has always moved the future within reach. We did it when we made advanced safety standard on every vehicle and engineered EVs with ultra-fast charging capability. Because the future isn't some far-off concept. It's already here. Next starts now. Hyundai, an official partner of FIFA.
By now, you've heard that Booth Creek Wagyu steaks and beef are the best tasting, most flavorful cuts you've ever had. And if you don't believe us, try it for free. Try Booth Creek Wagyu anytime at 95th and Knoll or 135th and Metcalf. Stop by our store and we'll prepare a free mouth-watering sample of your selected choice cut. Heart-healthy, low-cholesterol, authentic American, full-blooded Wagyu steaks and beef. We know you'll love it as much as we do. Crafted for exceptional beginnings. Join the Booth Creek Wagyu revolution at boothcreekwagyu.com.
No! USA is up 2-0. That is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Relax, Mike.
See that, Dan? My left eye is twitching. That's my warning eye. It'll be 2-2 by stoppage time. It's never wrong.
With early payout from Bet365, I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? Now my right eye is twitching, Dan.
Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Missouri. T's and C's apply. In-app only.
Hey, it's Seth Lugo, and this is your home for Royals Baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Missouri side, I-70 eastbound, heavy from Blue Springs into Great Valley. Bogs down past Adams area with construction. Stays slow to the Buckner exit. Through the Grandview Triangle, 470 westbound moving better, but 435 off again on again slow over the state line towards Knoll. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Rocking and rolling here on a Thursday morning. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. No Fescoe, no Dusty. They'll be back on Monday, and we'll all be back together as a trio for just a few days until I'm out and I get married, and then I'm gone for quite some time because I'll be in Hawaii.
Who?
Yes, very excited.
Get ready, man. Greatest day of your life.
Can't wait, man. I appreciate it. Very, very excited.
Agreed,
Counting
Logan.
down the days.
That day you touch down on the Big Island, man, be the best day of your life.
Yes. Yes. No, we both talked about it. We're very excited about the wedding, but we can't lie and not say that we're really excited about the day after when we go.
You guys are going to have so much fun on your wedding day. I mean, just like knowing your personalities, like, oh my God, it goes by so fast. Everyone says that.
Yeah.
But like, it just, I don't know. It's just a day you're just allowed to be happy and celebrate yourself, and you don't get that ever.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun.
I remember glimpses, like bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Of, like, it comes in waves where I just, like, something will pop into my brain, a memory of that day, and I'll be like, damn, that happened?
Yeah, you just
really?
smile.
Like, that
You
was
just
real,
smile.
yeah.
Like, that's and maybe it's because we had a big ceremony. Like, we had 300 people at our wedding, so it was a lot of shaking hands and, you know, kissing babies sort of stuff. You know, you're constantly feeling like you're hosting an event and you're having to, like, entertain people.
Yeah.
So maybe some of it was that, but I mean, in hindsight, like the wedding albums and the videos and the pictures and stuff, it's you get those memories that last forever. It was it was such a cool day. It's still the best day of my life to date. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you think about it.
Thanks, brother. I'm very, very excited about it. It's going to be cool. It's going to be once in a lifetime. So looking forward to it. Can't wait. That is next Saturday. And then, I'll be out to the Big Island. See you later. We discussed concerns, questions with the Chiefs this week. It's disappointed some people. I apologize. I think we're being realists. I think we're we want this team to be as good for as long as possible. I discussed Brett Veach in his hot seat. We'll get to that later on in the 9 o'clock hour and how I think he deserves a little bit more criticism than maybe he gets, and maybe gets anointed for riding the coattails of two GOATs in Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. But there are things that we're confident about in this roster too, that we can hold our hat and say, listen, this is something that this team's going to be good at. And I want to know what those things are for you, 913-586-7965. What are we confident in with this roster? Because it's been a lot of turnover. There's a lot of unknowns, a lot of young pieces. It's okay to say, yeah, I don't know how the secondary is going to play. You haven't seen a lot of those players play football. That's okay to say. That's fair. That's not negative. That's not being a hater. That's being real. But something that I am confident about next year with this Kansas City Chiefs team is this offensive line. I think this front five is going to be fantastic. I think at worst they're a top 10 unit. I think Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith obviously are elite at both of their positions. I think we saw Kingsley Suamataia last year be above average for the majority of the season, especially the latter half of the year. And that was his first time playing the left guard position and starting that whole season. Right tackle, we can figure it out. There's three guys that are at least going to be okay. I believe in Jalen Moore that he is average when he played last season. And who knows, maybe Khalil Benson or Isapole surprise us.
Yeah.
And I like having a competition, three guys fighting for something rather than Jawan Taylor being like, yep, I'm the third highest paid player on the team. I get penalties every other drive, and you have to play me.
Yep, I'll go on the snap when I want to, when I feel like
exactly.
it.
And no one's going to say anything.
Yeah.
Now we've got three guys vying for that position, vying for a roster spot. I love that. And then you guys have heard me even just this week, and I'm sure the listeners have heard me for the last couple months, and they're probably tired of it. I am in on 71. Josh Simmons is going to be a beast, a force to be reckoned with. And when you talk about players on the other side of the football that intimidate you, we talk about that sometimes in opponents. Josh Simmons will be that for the opponents that they play. For the AFC West, I mean, that is going to be a storyline in Denver, in LA, and even Las Vegas radio about, damn, they actually got a guy at left tackle. It'll be the left tackle for the rest of Patrick Mahomes' career here in Kansas City. Josh Simmons is going to be a beast. So, yeah, I think the offensive line is something that I can hang my hat on and say, this is going to be a unit that can protect Patrick Mahomes, that can get to that second level and create holes and create space for Ken Walker, the brand new addition, Emmett Johnson, DeMarcado. And again, we talk about the wide receivers maybe being lesser than. I think this offensive line is going to create time for them to get open, which is going to be needed.
Completely agree. Yeah. I mean, Josh Simmons, while I'm not saying that he is going to be as good as this guy is, don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I just wanted to get that out of the way first and foremost, because somebody in the text line is going to be like, oh my God, you're comparing him to him. Josh Simmons gives me Trent Williams vibes. Mm-hmm. That's just what I get from him. I mean, the physical nature, the violence by which he plays the left tackle position, his footwork, his athleticism, it reminds me a little bit of Trent Williams. Will he be as good as Trent Williams? Remains to be seen. Very hard. That's big shoes to fill. But that's who he reminds me of. And Khalil Benson fascinates me. Like, undrafted free agent. Those guys never get talked about. Mm-hmm. I mean, I shouldn't say they never get talked about by people that matter, I guess you could say. Like, we in the media talk about undrafted free agents like they're going out of style.
Jeff Caldwell.
Jeff Caldwell. We spent years talking about Justin Ross and Jody Fortson and the fans getting involved in that sort of thing. Andy Reid has brought up Khalil Benson more than once, unprompted to the media. That is staggering, in my opinion. Like, that's not an Andy Reid thing to do, to just bring up this undrafted free agent, this fringe roster guy, the way that he's doing with Khalil Benson right now. If I had to give you the things that I am most confident in this roster, not including number 15.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, that's a given.
That's a given. I think this team is going to be really good in the running game on both sides of the football.
Oh, okay.
I really believe in the interior of this defensive line. The edge rushers concern me, but the interior of the defensive line and the linebackers' ability to stop the run, I think that will continue. You know, I know that you lost Leo Chenal, but we know how good Nick Bolton is in the running game. We know what Drew Tranquill can do as an off-ball linebacker in the running game. Chris Jones is going to continue to be Chris Jones. I feel like Kyrus Tonga is maybe one of the more undervalued free agent signings or offseason acquisitions that the Chiefs have made. And I said it for months leading into the draft. I said it when they drafted him, and I'll say it again today. I am so serious when I say Peter Woods is going to be a straight-up dog. He is going to be so good.
I'm in on that too.
He is an absolute freak. And I know everybody's like, well, his numbers dropped in his last year at Clemson. Yeah, but you know what didn't drop? His double team rate. You know what also dropped? The lack of talent around him.
Yeah, everything else in Clemson.
Clemson took a nosedive, and he paid a huge price for that. I was talking in the lead up to the draft about the Chiefs taking him with the 9th overall selection, and I was dead serious about it. Now they've got him with the 29th pick. I believe in what this defensive line, this defensive tackle group can do in the running game. Chris Jones, Peter Woods, Omar Norman-Lott coming back off the injury after showing some flashes, and Kyrus Tonga paired with those linebackers. Teams are going to have a hard time running against this Chiefs front. And then on the other side of the football, pairing with the offensive line that you were confident in, love the addition of Kenneth Walker. I think he's going to surprise people with his pass-catching ability because he's never had a real chance to showcase that in Seattle with Charbonnet. And I really do believe in Emmett Johnson. As much as I hate the University of Nebraska and everything that Cornhuskers football fans stand for, I believe in Emmett Johnson. He wowed me with the Cornhuskers last year. I watched him put it on my Hawkeyes last year to like the tune of 250 yards of total offense. He's going to be really, really good. He's got a ton of versatility running the ball inside the tackles, outside the tackles, and catching the ball out of the backfield. There may not have been a back in football better than him last year, at least at the college level. This team's going to be able to get the running game going on offense, and they're going to be able to stuff it on defense.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I was going to go with either the interior defensive line or the running back room, and Logan, you so nicely went with both of those.
I did not mean to usurp you on both.
It's totally fine. I'm going to go deeper then. I'm going to highlight one player in each realm.
Oh, okay.
Nick Bolton. All right, everyone gives him so much hate, me included.
Yeah.
I think it's an overpay. I think I get he's the blue dot. There have been lists coming out at every position in the last few weeks. And earlier this week, the linebacker list came out. He was ranked 8th, whatever. We can debate that if we want to. We can skip it if we want to. But the stat that accompanied the ranking said he's got the highest run stop rate out of any linebacker since he came into the league 5-6 years ago, whatever it was. He is the best run stopping linebacker in the NFL. There's other stuff that he can't do very well. But you put him behind an actual run stuffer like Kyrus Tonga and not just a nostalgic one like Mike Pennell or Derek Nottie.
Yeah.
You put him behind the interior of a defensive line that's going to have to kick guys out to the edge, not because, oh, it's cute, Chris Jones can play on the edge, but because you're going to want to get them more playing time. I think we might say to ourselves a few times this year, look at Nick Bolton flying into that gap, and whoa, I didn't realize he had that kind of juice. I just look out for Nick Bolton here a little bit. And then it's low-hanging fruit, but Ken Walker. Name me the last time a Chiefs running back broke a tackle. I'm not kidding. I know there was a few last year
Kareem
because
Hunt,
when it happened, I tweeted about them. But you can't even tell me, like Kareem Hunt hurdling a guy years ago is like the last time I remember a Chiefs running back breaking a tackle.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, his first game of his career.
Justin Reed.
Yeah,
was that Justin Reed?
I think it was Justin Reed. It was really cool. It was like, oh, we got one, LSU, and then that was it.
We're going to have that feeling this year, and it's not going to go away.
Yes.
Like when Kenneth Walker spins out a guy or like ducks underneath a tackle, it is going to feel, I'm going to elevate like off of the ground.
Yes.
It is.
Gravity will cease to exist.
Wait, like we don't understand how big of a deal having the 8th, 7th, 9th, whatever you say he is, best running back in the league, just having a legitimate running back, it's going to open up so many things.
With a legitimate quarterback. Because, we all remember what it was like to have a legitimate running back by the name of Jamal Charles. It just happened to pair with Brody Croyle and Tyler Thigpen handing him the football.
Yeah, he has not had one. 15 has not had one.
Yeah, he had one for a few weeks, and then Kareem Hunt made the decision he made. You could bring up the Ware, the West, the Williams guys.
Cute, adorable.
Exactly, fun, gimmicky.
Yeah.
Cool for a flash in the pan. McKinnon can catch some passes. He's a good
McKinnon, for what he is, yes.
For what he is,
stud.
but for
like me some Jerick McKinnon. I was a big Jet guy, I'll be honest.
Huge. Everyone cheap because he did all the little things right, which is great. A fantastic role player, a cog needed in any successful football system, no doubt. Key player, but not a star. To your point, not hurdling, not breaking tackles, not that next level guy, explosive plays, and that's fine. That's just not what he was. Ken Walker is going to be that, so I'm so with you, dude. I'm very, very excited. I'm with you too on Peter Woods. I think other than Josh Simmons, as far as guys I'm in on with this team, Peter Woods is that next guy. Like I think he's going to be fantastic. And to be fair, they've got some similarities. A player who would have been taken top 5, top 6 overall in the draft if it weren't for an injury in Josh Simmons' case and just a lesser of a season in Peter Wood's case. And to your point, what was good around Clemson? Nothing. Everything else deteriorated. I am curious to see how his body looks, because you look at 2024 versus 2025 with Peter Woods. It's a stark difference as far as his body mass is concerned, as far as muscle versus fat. And that was obviously strategic choice rather by Clemson. I'm curious to see what Spags and Joe Cullen do over here in Kansas City. I think they like him where he's at. Last I talked to Joe Cullen over at OTAs. So I think he's going to stay being this bigger, beefier guy. And I hope that translates to the National Football League and that quickness. I think he's got it, though.
I do, too. My biggest question with Peter Woods right now is, will he be a cohort, a co-pilot on the interior with Chris Jones, right? Is he a complement to CJ95, or is he the heir apparent to CJ95? That's what I see. He's that good a player, in my opinion. And I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Chris Jones. I think that he is the caliber of talent where he may be so good, he may have so much flash here in his rookie year that the Chiefs have to look at it and say, okay, do we want to have 2 really good interior defensive linemen, or do we accept that out in Chris Jones's contract because we feel so good about what Peter Woods brings to the table on his rookie deal, and try to make improvements elsewhere? Because if Peter Woods is really good, your defensive tackle that's not a need on your football team any longer, with Tonga and Omar Norman-Lott and maybe a draft acquisition or whatnot. Wide receivers got issues, and you can save $30 million a year with Chris Jones, feeling good about Peter Woods, and go get a wide receiver, because George Pickens is playing on the franchise tag right now, and he will this year. Probably going to be a free agent next year. Let's save that $30 million from Chris Jones and use that to go get George Pickens from Dallas.
I mean, they're going to need to take 2 swings at the wide receiver position next year, whether that's a first-round pick and a free agent, or a trade and a free agent, or 2 trades, or whatever it is. They're going to need 2 guys, and then, maybe Worthy and Thornton are your 3 and 4. I would say how the Chiefs have operated this offseason by not moving any of Chris Jones's money around indicates they are taking that out next year. Why would the Chiefs otherwise not try to do more at wide receiver this offseason if you could move Chris Jones's money around? Now, do I think it's automatically the end of Chris Jones in Kansas City? No, I think he's going to have the option to play on a restructured or a different deal 2027 and forward. But I think his play this season will determine whether or not that's here. If he can still go get top of the market dollar for 1 or 2 more years after this year, I think it's the end of Chris Jones in Kansas City. Or if he wants to take a discount, and we know that he's a 5-sack guy now instead of an 11-sack guy, maybe he's not done. I think either way, this contract is being redone or totally torn up at the end of this season. And I'm so happy they have not touched his contract this offseason.
Me too. I was very, very nervous about that. You have to eat it. Sometimes you make a decision and you look back and you go, probably shouldn't have gone that way. And you just have to take your lumps. I think there's 3 Chiefs that won't be on the team next year. Pretty obviously, in my opinion. Nick Bolton, Chris Jones, Harrison Butker. All of those are team options. All of those will save a bunch of room off the cap. I think all of them will be gone.
Got to think Butker's gone. From the blue dot standpoint on Bolton, I'm not going to count that out until I see it. But I think Butker's gone. I think
green
Jones
dot or blue dot?
Is it?
I think it's green dot. I don't know.
It could be green dot. Whatever.
I don't know. Either way,
he talks to Spags.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
He's the one he's the one who talks to Spags.
It is a green dot.
Green dot.
My
Okay.
bad.
No. You're good.
What
You're
am
good.
I thinking of?
I don't know. It's whatever. Green dot, blue dot, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Knicks and 6. Field Yates was on yesterday. You guys bring up wide receiver. We had Field Yates on yesterday, and he dropped a little tidbit out of nowhere talking about because I asked him, hey, who's a player that could emerge as a target come December, November for the Chiefs? Because we see that a lot. You mentioned McKinnon. We saw Rashee Rice the second half of the season. Even Xavier Worthy his rookie year. The second half of the year, they start to use them more. Field Yates gave me a curveball. He said, not the second half of the season. How about the second half of summer?
Well, I would say there's a guy that maybe not even the second half of the season, but maybe the second half of the summer, and that's Stephon Diggs, who, until he's signed, I am going to put some credence into the idea of the Chiefs being one of the teams that would appeal to Diggs, and perhaps vice versa as well. My colleague Adam Schefter on his most recent podcast discussed Stephon Diggs, who recently calls himself, by the way, as good as any wide receiver, too, in the NFL. I would say that's at least close to accurate. Diggs was really good last year, playing 55% of the snaps for the Patriots and still finishing 12th in receptions in the NFL and 16th in receiving yards, north of 1,000. So if Diggs wants to go somewhere for the chance to win, and certainly Stephon Diggs at this point of his career would be motivated by that, having made a ton of money, the Chiefs would present one of those options. Diggs has also played with some outstanding quarterbacks in his career, Josh Allen, of course, in Buffalo for many seasons together. And then last year, he was kind of an elevator for Drake May, who finished second in MVP and was a second-team All-Pro quarterback, arguably the best young QB in the NFL. So Stephon Diggs is a name that I think will continue to be linked to teams like the Chiefs and the Commanders. He is a Maryland graduate, so there's sort of a hometown feel to the Commanders. But those two teams certainly on the radar for Stephon Diggs right now.
There's Field Yates of ESPN. You can watch him there every day over on the network, talking fantasy football, talking all things NFL, and including free agency. Stephon Diggs to Kansas City, I mean, that intrigued me because that was a conversation point maybe a month or two ago, and I kind of thought that just kind of went away, especially Diggs resurfaced with some of these allegations and all this sort of thing. Now, we know the Chiefs' history, that doesn't necessarily deter them from wanting to sign a player. Diggs would be extremely productive here. And I think Field Yates is right to say that. I don't think Diggs is far off from correct when he mentions he's the best number 2 wide receiver in the league. I think he is. And I think you look at Stephon Diggs, his stats last year, and let me pull him up right now because he only played, I think, a little over 50% of the snaps. He was not in the game a lot of the time, and he was still a 1,000-yard receiver. 85 catches, 100 targets, 1,000 yards, only 4 touchdowns because they went other ways in the red zone. But still, that's a 1,000-yard receiver with playing 50% of the snaps. If you get him in 75% of the snaps as your number 2 target with Patrick Mahomes, yeah, that sounds really, really good to me. I'm on board with this. I'm fully on board with this.
I am also. I mean, we talked about it earlier. I mean, if you're looking at viable free agent wide receivers right now, it doesn't. I hate to use it like it's the he's the best option out of poor options, But Tyreek Hill, bringing him back, you're probably not going to get any version of Tyreek Hill that's anywhere close to what you had the first time around, or even a Miami version coming off of 2 very serious injuries that required surgery. He won't be available until at least halfway through the year. And I am just completely over this sort of retread mentality that the Chiefs have had with their free agent and trade acquisitions of bringing back guys that were formerly with the organization who were just worse versions of themselves. Mm-hmm. I don't really want to. I don't need that. I don't need half a year of a guy that isn't who he used to be in Kansas City. I just don't need that with Tyreek Hill. Curtis Samuel doesn't move the needle. Deebo Samuel, he plays a similar style of football the way that Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy do, as a pass catcher, as a running threat, in a different body type, yes, but he's also got an injury history. Stephon Diggs, there hasn't really been an injury history. Mm-hmm. Off the field issues, yeah, those things certainly exist. That's not anything new to the Chiefs or really the National Football League as a whole, unfortunately. And he's proved it last year that he's still got it.
Yes.
The other 3 guys, not so much. He feels like the best option without question.
Can I paint a picture for you guys? Can I set the scene for you guys?
Yes. Okay. Closing my eyes.
All right. AFC Championship game. The Chiefs are hosting the Buffalo Bills because although last year was an anomaly, those are the 2 best teams, 2 best organizations in the AFC. Stephon Diggs, maybe he's good in that game, maybe he's not, but the confetti starts to fall. And this time we get a picture of Stephon Diggs, hands on his hips, in a Chiefs uniform, but it's a happy tears for Stephon Diggs.
Yes.
And rubbing that in the face of Buffalo.
That would be incredible. Sign me up. Goosebump City. Come on, baby. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. I think we talk about these weapons and the unknown. We get Cyrus Allen could do this, or Jalen Royals has the potential to do this. Oh, I really like Emmett Johnson later on in the pass game, which I do. But to have surefire targets, because even Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, are they surefire? Are they reliable? No. There's one guy right now that Mahomes can throw to that is reliable, and that's 87, and he's 37 years old. So to add a guy like Diggs, who you know is reliable when he's on the football field, And he doesn't miss games. To Logan's point, he has one injury in Houston where he played 8 games. Other than that, he's 6 or 7 now 1,000-yard seasons in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1,000-yard seasons
in the last 8 years.
Out of 8 years, and again that 1 year he was on pace for 1,000 yards. Missed half the season, which I believe was a torn ACL. Coming off the ACL tear last year at 32 years old, playing around 50% of the snaps, he was a 1,000-yard receiver. If Brett Veach wants to make me happy, he will go get Stephon Diggs. If he wants me to stop the criticism, he will go do it. We will see. I don't think Stephon Diggs would be on this list. We'll talk about it next. Chiefs all-time in their prime. We'll talk about it coming up next. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. I am curious to see how his body looks.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Joint pain's awful when you're the person fighting through it, but I'm betting you aren't the only one affected by it. Maybe you love someone who struggles with joint pain, and you see it. You see what they don't say. You see what they've slowly stopped doing. It's July, and the days are long, and the light hangs around, and you want to be outside moving, playing, and living. But instead, you're sitting it out. Let's get your life back at QC Kinetics. That's what they do every single day. People who are stuck in that cycle of pain in their hips, knees, shoulders, and backs are finally stepping out of it with QC Kinetics. They offer regenerative treatments done right in the office. No surgery, no long recovery, and no putting your life on hold. Just real relief. So it's time for you to go see my friends over at QC Kinetics and get that free consultation. Call them at 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Located off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
The corrupt political establishment. If you're ready to give them the finger, Taylor Burks is your man for Congress. Taylor Burks, America First conservative, outsider, 3 combat deployments as a naval commander. Taylor Burks will stand with President Trump against rhinos and the corrupt establishment. In Congress, Burks will always put America first. He'll work with Trump to deport every last illegal, ban communist China from owning 1 inch of our land, and protect our elections by passing the SAVE Act once and for all. So if you want to tell off the political establishment, conservative warrior Taylor Burks, an America First patriot for Congress. Paid for by Show Me Valor PAC. www.showmevalorpac.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Show Me Valor PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I am grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Look who has extra pep in their step.
Well, I just finished my to-do list. Gas tank is full, tonight's dinner plans are set, grocery shopping is complete, and I even got everything for those barbecues and pool parties we have planned. You know what's even better?
What?
Every one of those stops gets me a bit of money back.
How are you doing that?
By using Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app where I earn cash back on gas, groceries, and dining out. They even gave me a cashback bonus on my first grocery trip.
So that extra pep comes from all that cash back. Looks like I need to download Upside.
You really do.
Earn cash back on errands and everyday essentials. Download Upside and use promo code SNAP5 to earn an extra $5 cash back on your first purchase at one of over 100,000 available locations. That's promo code SNAP5 for an extra $5 cash back. Remember, use promo code SNAP5.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Royals coverage sponsored by the Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull on July 18th. The Outlaws are coming. Don't miss the Show Me Shootout Truck and Tractor Pull. Saturday, July 18th at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. Big power, flying dirt, non-stop action. Just $25 at the gate. Search Show Me Shootout Warrensburg, Missouri on Facebook for details.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law. The Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Missouri side 70 eastbound Blue Springs into Grave Valley, very heavy. Hit delays past Adams Dairy, stays slow to the Buckner exit. In Belton, 49 northbound with an accident past Missouri 58, delays almost back to Cass Parkway. A lot of heavy stuff to get through there. Kansas side 35 southbound, slow from 635 down past Antioch with a wreck reporting. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Rage bait. That's right. Rage bait is what's on the text line for Logan Weber. I love this. We got Nebraska fans, Iowa fans getting mad at each other on the text line. It's super fun.
Story of my life.
It's fantastic.
God.
It's fantastic.
Cornhusker
Way to go.
football fans are delusional.
I love
dog.
it. 785.
Delusional.
Keep it up. Brother.
Continue to live in the 90s. Fine. Do your thing, man.
I like it. I think it's great.
We're in 2026 over here. You keep that title from 95 at the front of your heart at all times. Go for it.
Yeah, the Huskers prime was, 30 plus years ago.
Are you a Cowboys fan too? Because you guys have the same mindset.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's getting spicy over here. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports here on a Thursday. Nathan Williams, Logan Weber, myself, Mac Morey. We were talking Chiefs and, of course, football coverage on 96.5 The Fan, presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years, guaranteed. Xfinity. Imagine that. We were talking the possibility of Stephon Diggs, plus what we're most confident in on this Chiefs team. I saw this the other day from Sunday Night Football on NBC. This was Chris Sims. His all-time in their prime QBs, and listed the top 10. And so Peyton Manning was number one, all-time in their prime. Just going off in their prime, Peyton Manning was number one. Number two is Patrick Mahomes. Number three, Aaron Rodgers. Number four, John Elway. Number five, Brett Favre. Josh Allen, 6. 7, Lamar Jackson. You're right. I still have not said the one name you're looking for. Number 8 was Dan Marino. 9, Tom Brady. And then 10, Roger Staubach. Number 9, all-time in their prime QBs. Now, again, I did not listen to this. I just saw the list. So maybe Chris Sims had some sort of, rules tying around what this actually meant, and maybe some context could be given to help him out. But, I mean, Tom Brady threw for 5,050 and went 16-0. And then the next year won the Super Bowl, I believe, after that, after he lost the Super Bowl. That was in his prime. So I would have to put him top of the list. And no matter if it's in your prime or just overall, Tom Brady should probably just be number one. But that's okay. That's just me. But I thought about, what about all-time in their prime Chiefs? What if we did this just with the Chiefs and we did a quarterback, a running back, a tight end, and then we could do a couple defensive positions. You could do a corner. You could do a defensive tackle or defensive end, whichever one you want. All-time in their prime Chiefs, would we get any crazy answers? So I ask you guys, who are the all-time prime in their Chiefs? I think running back would be the first spot where we really start to have a big debate. I think tight end will get some Tony G techs as well versus Travis Kelce. I think the quarterback, I don't really need to waste much oxygen on that. We know Patrick Mahomes is there. But the running back, all-time in their prime, who is the best Chief, if you just take their prime, the best Chiefs running back of all time? Just their prime.
Priest Holmes.
I think so.
Priest
That
Holmes.
3-year run.
I want to say Jamal Charles.
The counter to that would be Jamal Charles. The counter for the argument for Jamal Charles would be, well, he didn't have the offensive line that Priest Holmes did, because Priest Holmes was working with some Hall of Famers up there up front.
Yeah, initially I was Priest Holmes, but the more I think about this, I would probably go with Jamal, because, like you said, he didn't have a ridiculous offensive line. He didn't have Willie Rofe and Brian Waters and Casey Wigman and that offensive line to run behind. He didn't have a competent quarterback the way that, Priest had Trent Green and even Larry Johnson to some extent. We saw I think that may even diminish a little bit. I don't want to say diminish. That's probably not the right way to phrase that. But, looking at what Larry Johnson did immediately after what Priest Holmes did, I think shows you more of how special that offensive line was. Jamal had none of that. And another thing Jamal Charles was extremely talented at, and what made him partly as special as he is and was, and what we remember him as, but he could catch the ball out of the backfield, man. That 2013 season where he had 2,000 yards from scrimmage, he had 1,300 on the ground, he had another 700 through the air,
Screen
19
passes.
total touchdowns, because he had to be. Because he and Tony Gonzalez, before Tony G ultimately left, was the entire offense. He was it. I can't remember which year it was that it might have been that 2013 season for all I know, where the Chiefs wide receivers had no touchdown catches. They were abysmal. Terrible coaching staff, terrible, everything was god awful about that football team, minus Derek Johnson, Tom Bahali, Justin Houston, and Jamal Charles. I would say Jamal Charles, because the guy was an all-around freak, speedster, and he did it with little to no help offensively.
Jamal Charles feels like the most unstoppable Chief as far as weapons are concerned that I've watched. And I hate to have to do that. I hate that I'm in this spot, but I don't think it's close. It's Priest Holmes. And I just, the receiving thing. Yeah, Charles was receiving back in 2013, 693 yards. Okay. Priest Holmes, over that 3-year span that we talked about, where he was all pro 3 years in a row, 614, 672, and 690 receiving. Priest Holmes was just as much, if not more, of a receiving back in an era where it was much less common. And in those years, he ran for over 1,500 yards twice, over 20 touchdowns twice, led the league in touchdowns both of those years. His 03 season,
dude,
27 touchdowns, 690 receiving yards. In 02, he ran for over 1,600 yards, 24 total touchdowns, 672 receiving yards. I don't think it's close. And I know I'm looking at stats here. I did watch both of these guys play. Yeah. They were both unstoppable. But I think we're back to that eyes versus analytics when I'm watching two unstoppable players and then I look at the numbers and the numbers are so far apart. I've got to go with Priest Holmes.
There were 4 Pro Bowlers on that offensive line, man. You had Willie Rofe, you had Brian Waters, you had Will Shields and Casey Wigman, all on that offensive line at the same time.
Yeah, but this
and not to mention, hey, shout out. We talked about fullbacks a little bit ago. Shout out Tony Richardson. Guy was a phenomenal fullback. An absolute bowling ball opening up gaps.
Yeah, but
Jamal didn't have any of that.
This is all time, though.
Brandon Albert, Eric Fisher, Rodney Hudson. They weren't scrubs. It was an average O-line. It wasn't an all-time great O-line. Nothing like Priest's O-line. Not even close.
Yeah, this is all-time stuff, though. This goes up with any 3-year stretch that any players had at any position all time. So I think I am going to have to go Priest Holmes as well, even though it does hurt me as Jamal Charles being my favorite Chief of all time.
I'm going Jamal. That's not a dig against Priest Holmes, because
no, of course not.
Dude, I hate that about these arguments sometimes, is people are like, oh, so you're saying Priest Holmes wasn't that good? No.
And Logan, I want you to know how much it hurts to be on this side of the argument, because I like Jamal Charles so much.
Of course.
I like him so much.
That's my favorite Chief of all time. That's like my favorite number. So I'm with you. And yeah, maybe it would have been different, but the O-line was the O-line, and that's what it is. I think Larry Johnson, we got a couple texts there. 2 1,700-yard seasons in a row is absolutely insane. 37 touchdowns in those 2 years. Not quite the 51 touchdowns overall or it would have been 40 touchdowns if you include the receiving. Okay, 40 touchdowns to include the receiving, not the 51 touchdowns of Priest Holmes in that 2 years.
Since we're talking about their time with the Chiefs, if we weren't, Marcus Allen would have a real place in this conversation.
I
He
saw
didn't
that.
do it in Kansas City, though.
Exactly. Yeah, I saw that text. We're talking about all-time prime for the Chiefs. We can talk a little bit more about that on the other side if we want, maybe, because wide receiver, although it's not a long conversation, it would be an interesting one of the two that you would name. Also, is baseball going to be played in the Olympics? Can Major League Baseball agree or figure out anything? We'll talk about it on the other side. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
I'll tell you what, my guys at Smokehouse Barbecue are the flat-out best. I love walking into Smokehouse Barbecue and smelling that delicious barbecue smell in the air, whether it's the pulled pork that we're going to decide to have for dinner tonight, maybe it's those baby back ribs or the Cajun butter chicken wings. Whatever you get at Smokehouse Barbecue is going to be awesome. And I love right now their B2 sandwich. It is a torpedo roll with baby back rib meat on top, pepper jack cheese, some crispy onion straws, man, served with a side of their homemade hickory pit beans that cook under the brisket for the final few hours. That is a home run of a lunch. And don't forget, you got a lot of summertime parties coming up, right? Smokehouse Barbecue is perfect for catering. They can cater any event, any size. They can even host you at one of their 3 locations in Independence, Gladstone, and Zona Rosa. So for all of your catering, for all of your lunch, dinner needs, check out my friends over at Smokehouse Barbecue. Like I said, those 3 locations, Gladstone, Independence, and Zona Rosa, or at smokehousebbq.com. That's smokehousebbq.com. For over 35 years, locally owned and family operated, it's Smokehouse Barbecue.
Summer savings start now at Hy-Vee's 3-day summer sale. Save big this Friday through Sunday on summer favorites with hot deals throughout the store. Stock up and save big on fresh meat, produce, and other healthy finds. Want an easier way to shop? Order on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery, and we'll do the shopping for you. Save time, save money. Shop your way during the Hy-Vee 3-day summer sale this weekend only.
The Hy-Vee Market Grill is the best dining value in town. We love it for breakfast on the weekends, and now Thursday is steak day. You're going to get that perfectly grilled and seasoned steak with a baked potato and a side of sweet corn for just $12. You can't beat that deal anywhere in town. That's why the Hy-Vee Market Grill is a must on Thursdays for steak day. Dine in, carry out, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You're going to love the Hy-Vee Market Grill as much as I do. Don't forget, Thursday, $12 steaks, only at the Hy-Vee Market Grill.
When it comes to my policy, Farmers gives it to me straight, so there's no surprises.
It's your coverage. You should never be confused.
You hear that? An insurance provider with a conscience.
We're a choir, but yes, we have that too.
Straightforward coverage you can literally understand. That's what you get when
you have Farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? Call Jay Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Pay for client betrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Belton, 49 northbound, still heavy from Cass Parkway up to Missouri 58, but that earlier accident has cleared. 35 southbound on the Kansas side, things bogged down at 635. Stay heavy down past Antioch with a problem in the left shoulder. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. This is Fescoe and Dusty.
I got Mahomes' balls in my hands.
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Oh, yeah, football.
From potholes to pop-ups, we got it covered.
Hey!
Here's Bob Fescoe.
Take a bite out of my ass.
And Dusty Likens.
Big nuts.
Living it up here on a Thursday. Nathan Williams behind the keys, running the whole damn thing. Logan Weber by my side. Mac Morey here with you for another hour. You can hear Nathan Williams again today on After Hours, 6 to 9, hosting. He was great, not yesterday, but 2 nights ago, and he'll do it again tonight. You and James, right? You and James Howell?
Should be James. Yeah, we'll see.
Make it appointment listening first. The man knows ball.
Yep, the man knows ball. Absolutely. 6 to 9 on After Hours right here on 96.5 The Fan. And, of course, in an hour, you can hear Cody, Bink, and Drew. I made Bink upset earlier about my Brett Veach take. He was letting me have it outside there just a couple minutes ago. We'll get back into just how hot I think Brett Veach's seat is and should be here in the next segment. Right now, though, Logan, you put this in here, and I just looked at it and laughed because I'm like, this is classic. This is classic Major League Baseball. This comes from Jeff Passan. Major League Baseball has support from owners to allow big leaders to participate in the Olympics for the first time, but disagreements with the MLBPA have jeopardized the players' involvement in the 2028 LA Games, sources told ESPN. Why can't we ever just have nice things in this sport? We're going to have a lockout. I don't need to talk about the local fandom aspect of this and having nice things, but damn, dude, I mean, this was supposed to be awesome. Baseball, Olympics, America. What's going on?
I have no idea. I mean, it just feels like a microcosm of what is impending with this CBA expiring coming up here in just a few more months here, where it feels like two sides of the same coin that just inherently feel like they have to be two sides of the same coin. Like they feel like, again, it feels like everything else anymore where one person's on one side and the other just feels like they have to be on the other side, even if they don't believe it. I mean, I'm looking at, this is one thing, what Jeff is saying about the MLB and the owners believe that they have to, that the guys should be able to participate. The MLBPA says no. Then there's this article, this is from Evan Drellich of the New York Times, The Athletic, saying that Major League Baseball wants to make it mandatory for players chosen to participate. And if they skip out without an approved excuse, you're going on the restricted list without pay and service time for as many as 25 days. They're threatening basically to suspend these guys. Like, I can't fathom it. Do I want these guys to participate? Absolutely, I do. Of course. It's the Olympics. We want these people to be involved, especially for a sport like baseball, which has so much international appeal, say, compared to the sport of like American football. Like American football in the Olympics just wouldn't work because you could have college guys going out and competing in the Olympics in American football against other countries and dismantle these people.
Yeah, it would actually be unsafe.
Yeah, baseball feels inherently closer to like the way basketball is on the international stage now.
For sure.
With countries, the Dominican Republic, and I mean, Venezuela just won the World Baseball Classic. Japan and Chinese Taipei. Like, there's so many countries that have such a wealth of baseball talent that they have cultivated. Yeah, you want to see these guys participate, but the threatening suspension or like IL stints for these guys that choose not to participate if they are chosen, like, Okay, first of all, why are they're being chosen? Chosen how? Because I feel like in anything else anymore, you're not chosen, you're offered the opportunity. Like guys in basketball, they're not chosen to participate in the Olympics. They get a phone call, hey, we'd like for you to come be a part of the U.S. basketball team for the Olympic Games, and you have an opportunity to say yes or no to that.
Be a cool call.
Yeah, but this makes it seem as if Major League Baseball is going to be like, they're going to call Aaron Judge and be like, hey, you're on the U.S. Olympic team for baseball here in 2028. And Judge is like, well, I don't really feel like doing it. Okay, well, you're suspended for 25 days. Like, what are we doing? What's going? I can't understand the process. And I mean, I have long been vocal about my disdain for Rob Manfred, and I know you guys looked at me like I was crazy the other day when I said that he's the worst. Didn't
talk about that.
He's the worst commissioner in major professional American sports, and I stand by that statement.
He could be the best one.
I disagree so strongly with that.
He really could. We should discuss that later on in the show today.
This is another example of like, why in the hell can't we just do anything easy? Like, why does everything have to be so damn hard all the time? Like, why are we dragging everything through 500 feet of mud and drying concrete to get to a solution all the time?
Is this Rob Manfred or is this MLBPA though, Nathan? Is that his, I'm asking.
Well, first, Logan shouted out Chinese Taipei and didn't give a shout out to their Little League team. Those kids are Williamsport demons. You got that thing runs through Chinese Taipei every year. No, it's leverage and it's posturing, and I think those two inevitably go hand in hand when you're having a public collective bargaining negotiation. Of course, it is a chip on the table to say, well, we folded on this thing, so you need to give us something in return and fold on something else. Hey, all right, players, we'll take the suspension Olympics thing out of this if you opt out of it, but you need to agree to a lower salary cap than you want or whatever else. It's not that simple, but that's what this screams to me. As far as the selection process goes, I mean, I know like D-Row and a committee probably picked the World Baseball Classic team. It's probably something similar because what you don't want to have happen is the winning World Series manager one year gets it. Okay, so I don't know who's Kevin Cash gets to be the Olympics manager, and Aaron Judge is dealing with a tight hammy. Well, he selects Aaron Judge, and now Aaron Judge is in a tight position. How can I get out of this and not face a suspension? But you pick like your rival's injured superstar to try to I don't know, like that whole dynamic just seems fishy to me. That can't be the way that it works. So I'm with you on that, Logan. The selection process has to be different than that. It seems like leverage more than anything, guys. Right?
No, that's what it
does
seems
seem
like.
that way. Yes,
it is, like you mentioned, posturing's the perfect word too. It's constant, just for show, working towards something that's not actually what we're trying to work towards. Sidetracked,
and the players
distractions.
Do it too. The players do it too. Oh, Bryce Harper went off on Rob Manfred in the
100%.
Just lock each other out and then wake me up when it's over.
I know, and it sucks, dude, because it's going to have a big effect on, I mean, I know me and I know many others. I mean, I personally, I'm not the baseball diehard that you two are and grew up being. You know, I was football and basketball all the way, even more so hockey I grew up watching more of. That was what was on in my household. These last few years, I've now really found a love and an adoring for the sport, and thank God I called play-by-play for it for 2 years in Cody, Wyoming, to really understand baseball. And it kind of made me go, okay, I like this. And it made me kind of fall in love with the sport more and more, watching Major League Baseball, obviously moving here, doing this job, watching way more Royals than I have in the past 3 years than in my whole life. If this happens, man, it's going to be tough for me to get back. It just is. This has been a ramp up for me these last few years, and now I'm finally to the place where I'm consistently entertained. I'm knowing players. I have takes, these sorts of things, right? To get you into a sport. I bought MLB The Show for the first time, playing that. Dynasty. What better way to get into a sport than the video game, right? I went classic kid mode there and was like, all right, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, let's run some co-op, man. Let's go.
Oh, let's go. Let's do it.
He's more of an offline guy, from what I understand.
I'll try it, though.
He's not big into the DD, the Diamond Dynasty, the way that you and I are.
I'll give it a shot. I don't know much about it. I'll give it a try.
Quick shout out, the 99 Jordan Walker card rakes. Absolutely rakes.
Well, Mac, I think a lot of casual baseball fans are like you. I think baseball's seen a resurgence. It's in the attendance outside of Kansas City and like Houston was the other market that has seen a decline. There was like maybe two others.
Two others, yeah.
Across the league the last few years, numbers are up. Subscriptions to the TV product are up. And you can say what you want about the barriers to watch. Fans are overcoming those. They're buying tickets. They're paying for parking. They're paying for out-of-market selections, what have you. Baseball has figured out a way to market their stars better, which is what we asked them to do for decades. Really, since the end of the steroid era, they're finally doing that. It would be an awful time for a labor strike, an awful time.
Especially because you've got NBA was kind of floundering there for a minute. Basketball was kind of floundering. We've now seen their resurgence begin to start, right? They've found their stars. Their ratings have gone up. They are doing what they need to do on a local level and national level to grow their sport. Those two have constantly been head-to-head. All right, who is the second most popular sport? Well, right now it is baseball. It is. And if they go through this lockout, basketball will surge, and they will be left in the dust. And I think Major League Baseball will feel the ramifications of that, and I'm not going to mention soccer yet. But I think soccer is on the come, too. That's all I'll say in this country. I did my Max Minute on, I think it was on Monday. I truly believe that is a sport that is on the come up here in the country as well. We're going to talk maybe a little bit more of this. We got another commissioner in another sport being an idiot as well. Shocker. Plus, Brett Veach, his seat should be just as hot as Andy Reid's. I'll tell you why on the other side. 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Chiefs.
So damn hard.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, if you're headed out of town and headed up to KCI, then you need to park with my friends over at Park and Go. It's where we park every time we go out of town for a number of different reasons. Number one, it's all covered parking, and we love that. Our car's always protected, whether it's the winter snow, summertime hail. Hey, we're always protected at Park and Go, and they give you a great low rate when you prepay online. You save money. So go to bookparkandgo.com right after you make your flight reservation and book your parking, and then prepay because you save cash. Then you show up on the day of your flight, you give them that reservation number, and they direct you right to that covered parking spot they have reserved for you. And as soon as you get out of the car in no seconds at all, the van is there to take you right to the airport terminal. And when you get back after that long, stressful trip, just grab your bags, walk outside, jump on the bus, and it's right back to the trunk of your car you go. So do what we did and join their frequent parker program and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Lockridge, and I'm the host of a new podcast from Odyssey called Family Lore. In this podcast, I'm going to have people on to tell unusual and sometimes far-fetched stories about their families.
I've heard my whole life that she invented the margarita.
And then we're going to investigate those stories and find out how much of it is true.
He gets a patent 1 month before the Wright brothers. Oh my God.
Please follow and listen to Family Lore, an Odyssey podcast, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Hello. Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Today, mix of sun and clouds, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, high of 91.
Weather brought to you by Capital One. Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank guide. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Here's a World Soccer Championship recap.
Brought to you by Lowe's. Members get more at Lowe's. And by the first ever Infinity QX65. A dream final between Argentina and Spain is now set after Argentina came from behind for a 2-1 win over England. Lionel Messi assisted on Lautaro Martinez's game winner in stoppage time, not long after Enzo Fernandez equalized in the 85th minute. I'm Mike Conti.
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate. Products not available in every state.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Rocking and rolling here Thursday morning, 9:17, 96.5 The Fan. You're home for Kansas City sports, listening to Fescoe and Dusty right now. No Fescoe, no Dusty. They'll be back on Monday. We'll have our original trio for right now. You're stuck with me, Mac Morey, Logan Weber, Nathan Williams with you for another 45 minutes or so. Having some fun. We've gone through some hot takes. We've gone through some takes that make us upset. We've talked to Chief. We've talked a little Major League Baseball just there and their inability to get anything done. I saw this just now, and I have to play it for you guys because it's absolutely the best thing ever. This is on, was this 97.1 The Ticket? I think this is in Detroit. This is our sister station, and this is them talking about Steve Yzerman, their former now GM, who just stepped down from the Detroit Red Wings. And this is a caller they had come in. Listen to this.
Tim is next on 97.1. Hello, Tim.
There was a clip a few years back on TNT where they were interviewing Yzerman in between periods, and he basically said, without saying, he smokes a nice one, every once in a while to relax. Do you think maybe he was on Devil's Lettuce a little too much? He was a little too passive, perhaps.
What? What, think that they're high?
You think that was a factor?
No.
What? Do we think that Steve Yzerman struggled because he's a pothead? Is that what you just asked us? No. No, I don't. And did he admit that? No, I feel like if he admitted that, are you on the Devil's Lettuce? Are you the pothead? What?
All right. Well, there's that.
Yes, that is fantastic. Let's go. He said on TNT
the joke writes itself about Matt Quatrero being a Grateful Dead fan. It is.
It's right there in front of us.
I'm so surprised that Vern hasn't had a caller that said the exact same
awesome.
thing.
He shares some similarities with Bill Walton, man. We talk about correlation versus causation.
Yes.
That's one of the best examples I've ever seen of correlation without causation. Like, they were like, Has he ever admitted that?
What? That happened?
Did you just make that up on the fly, Big Dog? That whole thing just devolved into a conversation that it should never have been in the first place.
I love when conversations work that way too. Like, hey, based on this thing that everyone knows is true, right?
Yes.
Can't you conclude this? It's like, oh, hold up. Not everyone knows that that's true. You just glaze past like a very important part of that conversation. Where's this interview during a game where he said, yeah, I'm high all the time?
Yeah, I'm smoking weed all the time.
That doesn't necessarily feel like, even in today's day and age where it's legalized across the country and people it's more normalized.
Yeah.
Yeah, something tells me that a manager of a National Hockey League team is not going to freely admit on TNT that he smokes weed.
During a game, not even like a podcast, not talking about hockey, during a game next to the ice, watching his team play.
In between periods. Yeah. He's just sitting there with the on-ice commentator between periods. And rather than talking about the power play that just happened or his best player that's in the box, or the goalie's struggling and the goalie's playing. No, he's spending his time in between periods talking about, yeah, dude, sativa is where it's at, my guy.
No, he's like, hey, it's all about getting quality shots on net. We haven't been.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
you have to have some water on. My throat's really dry.
Oh my gosh, that's just fantastic. But that's what sports fandom is, dude. That's a guy who's distraught with the way his team's performed these last few years, and he's grasping. He's going, well, dude, there was that one game that I watched. I watch all 82 games every year. There's one time Steve Yzerman mentioned that he liked joints sometimes. And so now that's got to be it, right? That's got to be why our team.
Looking for an explanation to the inexplicable.
Yes.
For some reason.
913 says, that's the Detroit Vern for real. That is, yeah. And then 417, sounds like something Vern would say about the fans. Yeah, exactly. Are you high? Are you the one on the devil's lettuce? Oh, that was so good. So good. I sometimes think Brett Veach might be high when he's drafting these players. No, I'm just kidding. That's a little too harsh. But I do look at Brett Veach in these draft classes and I go, hey, maybe some more criticism should be floated his way. We talk about Andy Reid, and I talk about Andy Reid and the offense and the deterioration, the erosion that we've seen of their quality drives, of their explosive plays, whatever you want to point at, has gotten worse since 2022, and it has gotten worse each year. Well, Andy Reid can only cook up what's in the kitchen, and I believe Brett Veach, since 2022, since that season, he's been the one coasting off of that performance, and it hasn't been Andy Reid, and it certainly has not been Patrick LeVon Mahomes II. He's the one actually keeping Brett Veach in good terms, in good graces with the fans, with the national media, because of his performance, because of his ability to lift this team up. And again, I went through it earlier this week. I don't need to go through it again. How this team performed with versus without Patrick Mahomes. We saw it. Okay, a lot of that is because the roster's not that great, because they aren't deep in a lot of positions, and they haven't been for multiple years in these same positions. And Mahomes kind of said that all in an interview with Yahoo Sports, talking about a QB list. He mentioned the offense actually, it's been a while.
There you see the list. You were number 2, ranked by scouts and GMs, front office members across the National Football League. What's your response to that?
Yeah, I mean, you understand it. I mean, coming off injury and we didn't play as well as we wanted to the last few years. You're going to drop in the rankings of some sort. But at the same time, there's a lot of good quarterbacks on that list, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. You know, you got to go out and prove it every single year. So it's my job this year to prove why I can jump up in the list back to number 1.
He said, it was just a blip there. He said it was just a blip. You'll listen to it again right here.
Off injury, and we didn't play as well as we wanted to the last few years.
The last few years. So for all of you talking about end results, that does not mean that this team has been near the standard of where they want to be. This team's defense has gotten worse. This team's offense hasn't been as explosive. They haven't been able to run the ball. They haven't been able to beat man coverage since 2022. And even in 2022, their wide receivers weren't great. I mean, the roster issues have been consistently the same the last 4 seasons. And that falls on one man to me. Yes, coaching and development has some sort of say in this, but it's not like as much it is in baseball or even basketball. In football, a lot of it, in my belief anyways, is you are what you are in football. Yes, players get better. Players surprise us. There are busts. There are guys who are 4th-round picks and turn out to be, man, that guy, how did he fall, right? But overall, you've got a body of work and you are going to be what you are going to be. A coach can put you in a position to succeed, and we can talk about maybe some of these rookies from last year's draft not playing, and maybe they should have been playing, or maybe Andy Reid's looking at these guys and going, what am I working with? So I looked up, what is a successful GM? What's the hit rate? And overall, they were saying 30 to 40%. 30 to 40% of the time, you need to have a hit. So, what is that? 2 out of 6, 3 out of 7, somewhere in there. You got 6 to 8 picks most drafts, and that's what it needs to be. You need to have 2, maybe 3 hits each draft for that to be considered successful, right? So I went through it since 2018. Let's talk about it. How much of the blame does Brett Veach deserve? Let's look at the drafts. Well, 2018, he had 1 hit, 0 stars. 2019, 0 stars, 1 hit. The rest were busts. 2020, 1 star, 2 hits. So our first successful draft in his 3rd year, right? You're a beginning GM. You're figuring this out. Fine. 2020, you get 3 overall hits. 2021, 2 stars, 2 hits. 2022, we know what happened, right? It was his best draft. It was one of the best drafts we've seen in modern football. 8 overall hits with 1 star. And I will add that caveat that one of those hits that I'm mentioning, do you consider Brian Cook a hit?
Yes.
I'm considering him a hit. Great. Joshua Williams, I'm considering him a hit.
Joshua Williams? I would not consider Joshua Williams a hit.
Okay, then we'll take that off. Jalen Watson, will consider that a hit.
100%.
Especially in the 7th round. Isaiah Pacheco, 7th round pick.
Watson, yes!
Thank you. It's important. I'm considering George Karlaftis, a 1st round pick, a hit right now. That's teetering. I'm considering it a hit, but that is teetering. Is that fair to say?
A second contract, I think you have to.
It's a hit. Okay.
Personal evaluations aside, I think you have to.
Okay. Yeah, he had a 10-sack season. He's helped this team win. He's been solid in the playoffs from time to time. All right, we'll consider George Karlaftis a hit. Is it the best 30th overall pick that we've seen? No, and we could talk about his early round selections overall, because I believe he's not great in the 1st and 2nd round. Where he makes his hay is that 4th through 7th rounds, but you've got to get the guys that are good when they're good, and that's just at the top. The hit rate has to be higher in those first rounds, and it has been. You look at 2023, 0 stars, 1 hit, the rest were complete busts. I'm not yet going to judge the whole 2024 draft class. Xavier Worthy, we don't know yet. I've said for a long time, probably since the season ended, I'll say now almost 6 months really, I've said I'm giving him the first 6 weeks of the season. That's what Xavier Worthy gets. New wide receiver coach, refreshed offensive mind, new offensive coordinator. I'm giving Xavier Worthy. He's healthy. Yes, exactly right. I'm giving him the first 6 weeks of the season. I'll give Kingsley a hit if he's the starting guard this whole year and he plays well like he did last season. That's a hit. It was a 2nd round pick that you picked as a left tackle, and he was a complete, an atrocity at that position. But hey, you found a position for him. He's a left guard. But the rest have not proven to be in that 2024 draft class, and obviously we can't go off of what 2025, and certainly not our most recent draft class just a few months ago, so I won't judge those last 2. But overall, you're talking about 18 contributors out of 48 picks. That's a 37% hit rate. It's good. I said 30 to 40. He's on the higher end of that. That's solid. Not bad, not great. But if you make 2022 a normal draft, and I know, 2022 wasn't a normal draft. You have to go with what happened. Okay, fine. But what I'm saying is one incredible draft where he had 8 hits, and if you want to say it's 7 now to take away Joshua Williams, which I think is fair, you've got 17 contributors out of 48 picks. That's going to be less than 37%. And if you make 2022 a more normal draft where it was 3 hits, that's 29%. That's below average. And that's what I think Brett Veach is about, an average GM. I think Brett Veach makes some good moves. We've seen Tyrann Mathieu. We've seen Justin Reed. Obviously, you could go to the Joe Thuney acquisition being fantastic. There are acquisitions that he's made, but his scouting ability, his drafting ability has been propped up by both Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, and 2022 being an incredible, legendary draft class, which it is. That was 4 years ago, guys. Who's on that team from 2022? Who's on this team? It's Karlaftis.
George Karlaftis is the only one.
That's it. Everyone else is gone. So to me, I think Brett Veach is someone that deserves the brunt of this criticism as well when we talk about the lack of performance or the lack of meeting the standards that the Chiefs have become normalized to.
Yeah, I look at Veach overall, and it's a situation where he deserves a lot of praise. He deserves a lot of criticism. Right? Veach was the general manager for teams that won 3 Super Bowls and went to 5. Correct. over the course of that time frame, over the course of those 3 Super Bowl wins and 5 Super Bowl appearances, who were the 4 best players over that time frame? Who are the 4 best players over that period? Patrick Mahomes, who Brett Veach gets a ton of credit for. Patrick Mahomes may have single-handedly made Brett Veach the general manager of this Kansas City Chiefs team because he saw him on tape, he advocated for him to Andy and to John Dorsey, and they ultimately drafted him, and it worked.
John Dorsey drafted him,
And he deserves credit for that. But so does John Dorsey because he's the guy that ultimately pulled the trigger.
It's your job to listen to people as a general manager. He listened to Brett Veach. That's John Dorsey being a good general manager in my eyes.
Who are the other 3 guys?
Travis Kelce.
John drafted
Dorsey.
by who? Chris Jones.
John Dorsey.
Tyreek Hill.
John Dorsey. Those are the pillars of this roster.
That is the linchpin of your success. And then, I mean, Brett Veach, I think the thing he is greatest at, to go on a little bit longer, but the draft success isn't what you have wanted it to be the last few years. Outside of 2022, yes. And your one star in Trent McDuffie, you were able to acquire Trent McDuffie by, that's right, trading away Tyreek Hill, a guy you didn't draft.
Mm-hmm.
He did the right thing by getting rid of him and by trading him away to Miami. I think we all agree that was a great move by him. But he hasn't drafted particularly well over the last half decade outside of the 2022 class. His free agent acquisitions. Now, he's got a chance to prove us all wrong this year with the addition of Kenneth Walker and Kyrus Tonga and Alohi Gilman. You know, this is the most intriguing free agent crop that the Chiefs have acquired, I believe, since Veach became the general manager. And I'm very, very excited about it. I think it's got top-end talent. The trades haven't also been great. I mean, Orlando Brown, yeah, that worked pretty good. You think that, Frank Clark is probably the best trade that the man has made to date, and there have been a couple of other okay ones. But in the last 5 years, has he made one good trade that actually worked out for the Kansas City Chiefs?
And
no, not a one.
No.
I mean, you're flailing at easily 2 of the 3 biggest pillars of being a general manager, and there's lots and lots of questions about the third one.
I don't know. Tyreek Hill, to be technical, was 4 years ago. It's within that 5-year time frame. I think the McDuffie deal is going to look back and be very favorable, although we don't have the end story on that one. I think we're straying a little too far to the negative side here. Now, I wish Chiefs fans would have gotten here sooner. I think we have let Veach and everyone in the coaching staff as well and the front office be totally immune to criticism while they're on the Super Bowl run.
Exactly.
It has been, we can't get on the air and say, hey, this didn't go really well because, well, they're winning. Yes, but the show can't just be, hey, they won the Super Bowl. All right, up next is Cody and Go. That's not how it works.
No.
We're here to talk about the pros and the cons. And so, you just kind of get what, I don't know, it just kind of comes with it. Where I think Veach has gone wrong compared to the first part of his career is the contract decision making. I think if Orlando Brown would have been slightly more reasonable, Brett Veach would have backed up the Brinks truck for Orlando Brown Jr. I think the decisions to pay George Karlaftis and Nick Bolton, Spags' guys. I think the decision to pay a right guard, Andy's guy. I think he's deferring a little bit too much to his coaching staff. And that contributed as well to what we saw last year with this thing crumbling down. They're hamstrung when it comes to finances, and they have been for the last couple of years. Now, 6 years ago, the Mahomes contract was fantastic. The Chris Jones contracts were amazing. He moved on from Tyreek Hill at the right time. Fantastic. He made some bad money decisions, not cap decisions. He's always been great with finagling the cap, Logan. I agree with you on that. I think the money decisions have also slowed the roll on he's the best GM in the NFL talk.
Yeah, and the Tyreek trade, you're right, was awesome. It was fantastic. Those picks worked out. Like, that was an incredible move. But yeah, to your point, some of the acquisitions, and it can't just be like the Super Bowl happened and that means this team was awesome. Can we go back to 2023? Can we go back to watching that team? Do you remember it?
I was here after the Raiders Christmas Day game. Yes. I was filling in for Rob that day. I saw the text.
That's what this team was. It wasn't performing well. It wasn't fun to watch. It was ugly.
And 75% of the text line wanted Veach fired at that point in time. And they were the defending Super Bowl champions. Oh, And they won it that season.
Yes, and they won it that season because Mahomes went on a miraculous, insane run, and Steve Spagnuolo was able to figure out a couple of kind of kitschy things on defense to annoy offenses for 4 weeks. That's what happened. They were 10-6. They were 10-6 in a crappy AFC West, almost said a different word, and they were able to sit Week 18 and have Blaine Gabbert play. That is what happened. You have to stick to actual reality. The end results don't always equal. I'm trying to think of the exact saying there. I can't remember what it is. But the end results don't always equal, okay, well, everything else was great. No.
Ends don't justify the means?
Yes, the ends don't justify the means. Yes, the ends don't justify the means of, okay, well, looks like everything's great. All right, here comes Cody and Gold. That's not the way this works.
Yeah, and evaluating the process is what makes being a fan fun as well. Like a hardcore fan. Like, you could be the fan that just turns on the game on Sunday. I mean, we all have friends or spouses or those of you that have little ones that watch the game. Yeah, they don't know who the Chiefs are scouting and they're not following the combine and free agency. They just turn on the Chiefs on Sunday, they watch, it's entertainment, and they put it away. Everyone that listens to this show is more than that. That's the point of this show, is to talk about the process. If we just watch the game, I mean, there'd be no need for what we do. There'd be no need for 96.5 The Fan for any of it. But that's what's interesting, and people click on that. They listen to that. That's what the conversation is. That's all it is. It's not a bad thing. They're not immune from criticism.
No, they're not, and winning doesn't get rid of everything else. You have to look at the way this offense has performed. It's gotten worse and worse and worse. And I ask you a simple question. Has this team, from a roster perspective, on paper, become more talented in the last 4 years? Because, again, I know 2022 was amazing. I'm not, to the 816, I'm not getting rid of it. We mentioned his incredible moves. Brett Veach, and I even said in this argument, he's average. I'm not saying he's even bad. I'm just saying he's not this guy we need to anoint and have a statue of outside the stadium, because I think we need to hope that these last two drafts, Brett Veach specifically needs to hope that these last two drafts have a bunch of hits, because if not, we're talking about 2022 and we're heading into 2027 season. And at that point, we can't keep doing that anymore. Patrick Mahomes has carried for far too long. The Ken Walker signing, great job. Anyone would have done that. I'm sorry. We already knew Ken Walker was really good. You had the money to do that. You had the worst running back room in the league, which, by the way, Dusty and I sat in a tiny studio with Bob Fescoe after the Super Bowl in New Orleans after we got our asses kicked. The first thing we said the next morning at 6 a.m. was, this team needs to get a running back. Badly. Guess what they didn't do that year? Get a running back. Guess what? 32 out of 32 in EPA per play as far as rushing the football. The Kansas City Chiefs, they were dead last in explosive plays on the ground because they didn't do that. That was, I mean, it was right in front of you to go get a running back. Here's Brashard Smith in the 7th round, who actually played wide receiver in college.
And we'll bring back Clyde, too.
And we'll bring back Clyde. And hey, does McKinnon, is he still around? Oh, Kareem Hunt can come off the couch?
Mm-hmm. Elijah Mitchell's coming over from San Francisco to never see the field.
Yes, it's never going to happen, right? So it's like there are moves that you can point out that it's really, really frustrating. I don't think it's just all hate or all nonsense to say Brett Veach does need to hope these last two drafts are really, really good. And I'll also add, and I think you maybe mentioned it earlier, or one of you two, like, I liked last year's draft overall. Like, I'm a big Josh Simmons proponent. I am. Like, I think Jeffrey Bassa could be really good in the 5th round out of Oregon.
Noel Williams.
I'm big on Noel Williams, right? So if that all comes to fruition, which, by the way, I'll also add, it may not. Just because I'm sitting here liking these guys, that doesn't mean anything. I'm a Joe Schmo on the radio. You're the general manager. Just like when we talk about J.J. Picoult and the Royals, well, we all wanted to re-sign Salvador Perez. We all wanted to extend Vinny Pascal. Doesn't matter. We're fans. We're guys on the radio. I'm not in that room. I'm not speaking to the future.
I still think the biggest, it's contract decision making has been my biggest problem the last few years, because we just brought up Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell was so frustrating. That's all the Chiefs could do, was that and Christian Fulton and Jalen Moore last offseason. And largely, a couple swings and misses, by the way. Not like any of those guys came in and were gangbusters, but they had no money to spend. They were coming off of paying Karlaftis, paying Bolton, paying Trey Smith. The process works when you draft well, you get the most out of a player, and if he's still ascending, you pay that player. Or if he's peaked and you think it's all you're going to get and he's going to stay the same or get worse, like Trent McDuffie, great player, there's probably not another level to his game, then you trade him, you get out of it, you get what you can. You don't have to just sign players because they're your guys, your draft picks. And I think as much as anything, not being able to get a running back after that Eagles lost, It's because they made the decision to pay a guy like Nick Bolton.
Yep, a Nick Bolton, a Trey Smith. We could go to those non-premier positions that they've decided to invest in that have let other guys walk, whether that be a McDuffie, whether that be a Justin Reed, whoever it might be, who really were leaders to this team on premier positions. And instead, we've got the highest paid center, a top 5 highest paid guard.
George Karlaftis getting paid $20+ million to get 6 sacks. Yeah,
highest paid kicker.
And I feel like most of my angst, most of my criticism of Brett Veach in the last few years comes from not even so much the draft thing, because guys look really good on paper, guys look really good on tape, and sometimes it just doesn't pan out. Okay, so be it. But when you identify needs on your football team, and rather than trying to fill those needs with the best player available, you go out and trade a 7th-round pick for McCole Hardman. You go out and you re-sign Juju Smith-Schuster, who went elsewhere and didn't produce.
Trade for Toney.
You trade for Kadarius Toney. You trade to bring Derek Nottie back. You wait for Mike Pennell to get cut by the Bengals to pick him up on waivers. Like, can you please go find somebody that isn't just a recycled old chief who is past his prime and not the same player he was the first time around? That's the biggest criticism I have for Brett Veach. And I understand that may not even be a Brett Veach criticism. That might be an Andy Reid thing.
They're connected.
That might be an Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo. Like, we know these guys know the system. They know the offense. They know the culture of the building. But
say no.
Yeah, at a certain point, you got to do your job, Brett. Like, I know that the reason why you're in Kansas City is because Andy brought you to Kansas City to work under John Dorsey. I get it. I get that you're loyal to Big Red. I don't fault you for that. But you're the guy. You're the general manager. Every signing, every draft pick, every trade is going to have your name on it. Andy's job is to put those players in the best position when they get in the building. It's your job to put them in the building. So
exactly
sometimes
right.
you got to be like, Andy, I'm so sorry, but we drafted McCole Hardman. He was okay. We let him walk. We brought him back. We let him walk again, and now you want me to trade for him? No, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry, but that's not what is best for this football team, in my opinion. And I'm the general manager. I'm in charge of player acquisition. That is where I stand. At a certain point, you have to do that. Now, I don't know if maybe that's something that Brett Veach is incapable of, which is, again, maybe a knock against him as a general manager.
From the 909, here's a real truth. He found Pat Mahomes. That's a Hall of Fame status. If he did nothing else, #fact. Sure, fine. But it's going to be Hall of Fame travesty status if he's also the one who doesn't propel the second half of Patrick Mahomes' career. And that's what we're talking about. We all know Mahomes is amazing. We all know, and if you want to give Brett Veach credit, fine. I'm going to give John Dorsey just as much credit as Brett Veach there because he was the general manager. He was the one making the final decisions. But Brett Veach, just the credit that he gives should also be the criticism equal these last couple of years because he has not made the team better for 4 straight seasons, in my opinion. Hopefully that changes this year with the Mansour Delane, Peter Woods additions, Jaden Kennedy. We love Emmett Johnson. We're excited about some of these players. We really are. And if these 2 drafts, 25 and 26, they better be great. They better be close to 2022 or else we are not going to be talking about a dynasty here in Kansas City anymore. Football coverage on 96.5 The Fan, presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years guaranteed. Xfinity. Imagine that. Coming up, a license plate that said "squeeze ass." An old woman's mad about it. We'll talk about it next. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Fescoe and Dusty.
Terry Hardy's is closed. Well, that sucks.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Is anyone paying attention to rural Kansas? Everything costs way too much, and the politicians in Topeka keep siding with big tech and give a thumbs up to these massive data centers. We need someone who will fight for our farmers and ranchers and all the working people of Kansas. Vicki Schmidt is running for governor. She's the insurance commissioner who is laser focused on lowering costs and taking a stand against these out-of-state tech companies. Vicki's running mate is Joe Newland. He's the former Kansas Farm Bureau president who has spent his career farming himself and advocating for our rural communities. Vicki Schmidt and Joe Newland will fight tirelessly to protect our land, water, and way of life. That's why the Kansas Farm Bureau has endorsed Vicki and Joe. Finally, someone who has our back. Vicki Schmidt and Joe Newland for governor and lieutenant governor. Defend US PAC paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Dustin McIntyre, Treasurer. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. DefendUSPAC.us.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, this is Lauren. And a little thing I love about the hash brown scrambled burrito is that it's going to add the protein that you need. The eggs with those crispy nuggets. It's the ultimate combo.
Hi, this is Maya, and a little thing I love about the hash brown scrambled burrito is that it's packed with protein. Having Chick-fil-A chicken in a breakfast burrito is just phenomenal to me. You have the chicken, you have the eggs, and then you add these hash browns. It's just complete, honestly.
Order the Chick-fil-A hash brown scrambled burrito and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's enough needless nonsense in the world already. Your phone plan shouldn't add to it. Verizon's new Simplicity plan cuts down on the nonsense in your life. Now there's just one plan, one price. $30 a line per month, even for a single line. And everyone gets our best 5G network. It's a phone plan designed to do exactly what a phone plan is supposed to do. Isn't that a lot simpler? Switch today at Verizon.com or at your nearest store. For new customers, $30 per line includes auto pay and switch discount. Additional taxes, fees, and terms apply. Unlimited data is restricted to on-device smartphone usage. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. BALD.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I'm focused on reducing taxes for Kansans. You should keep more. My BALD plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the BALD plan to decrease property taxes. Conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit scottschwab.com/bald to learn more. Paid for by Schwab for Governor, Jim Felter, Treasurer.
Here's a World Soccer Championship preview.
Brought to you by Lowe's. Members get more at Lowe's. And by the first ever Infiniti QX65. Lionel Messi gets a chance at a second title while Spain gets an opportunity for their first title since 2010. That is the matchup in New York, New Jersey for the final. Argentina got here the hard way with 2 comeback wins and 2 extra time wins in the knockout round. Spain has allowed only 1 goal the whole tournament. I'm Mike Conti.
Back to the break here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Listen, you know it's a good topic when even the text line is 50-50. It feels like either you are shut up, we're clowns guy, or hey man, I totally agree with you, Brett Veach is way overrated. So that's how you know this is an actual discussion that people are having. This old woman was having a discussion that I don't know if anyone else wanted to have, but she was at an old folks home. She got a random license plate given to her, and it happened to say, squeeze ass. Here she is.
I don't think a woman that lives in a senior community that's going to be 77 years old next month will be driving around with what this plate has to say.
Squeeze ass.
Squeeze ass. SQZASS, baby.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's all it is. And she's pissed. I mean, does she have a right to be mad? I mean,
I'm being honest. Like the squeeze ass itself is inherently funny, but the still picture, like the frame, like the picture of the license plate with two oranges side by side.
Oh,
squeeze
my
ass.
God, I
with
didn't
the
even
two
think
oranges
about that.
looking like an ass in between. In the in the Sunshine State, the orange capital of the world, where what do you do with oranges? Squeeze them to get orange juice.
So good.
It's cinematic gold that we've got going on here.
This is something that had someone gone to the DMV and requested this, it would have been denied.
Yeah.
Like they would have seen, they would have looked at it, they would have seen right through it. Look at the best part of each year is when the states release their like declined license plates of the year. This is SQZ and then two oranges in the middle and then A55.
55, yeah.
So but these fives, they look like S's. I mean,
they're very S-like.
But the fact that A55 was not in their database as something that can't go out,
can't do that,
is insane.
I just one of the top comments on
awesome.
it is that scene in Seinfeld where Kramer is getting out of his car and the license plate behind him just says "ass man." Like this, I mean, the license plate is just straight out of a sitcom. Yes. And this poor woman, this poor older lady is just absolutely mortified. Meanwhile, Jesus, I see what you've done for other people and I want that for me. Like, lady, you've been handed gold. Figure it out. Like, yeah. Well, it's message, wrong messenger a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't recommend Googling squeeze ass if you're at work or anything like that. But the images online are so funny because a lot of the headline photos are just her and who I would assume to be her husband, like sitting on a bench outside of maybe their front door, maybe the DMV, I don't know. They're sitting on a bench and they're just like holding the license plate in between them. And like they both are like not happy about it. And it's like, I don't know. It's perfect.
It's awesome, man. It's great. I mean, she's pissed.
I don't think a woman that lives in a senior community that's going to be 77 years old next month will be driving around with what this plate has to say.
Sounds like she doesn't like getting her ass squeezed.
No, couldn't be me.
Whatever.
Yeah, each his own. We didn't talk about it because I don't think really any of us watched it last night. I know you watched a little bit of it. ESPYs, good, bad, whatever.
I mean, of course, like we had to be asleep by, I was in bed by 7:30, so I really only got a chance to watch the opening monologue of it. But I'm a big SNL fan. I love Marcelo Hernandez. His style of comedy cracks me up. As a fellow short king, I can appreciate what Marcelo does.
Yes.
So I liked it. He comes out for his introduction. He's got the PA announcer, going over the lineup card, and he starts out with like at 5'7", and he's like, "Whoa, hold on." He like goes on the mic. He's like, "I'm 5'8". Start over. And it's like
relatable.
I can appreciate that.
Yes.
I understand how that feels when somebody's it's like I'm 5'9". All right, I know I'm short. Every inch matters.
Get it right.
Don't clip that, Nathan. Don't clip that, Nathan.
It's too late. It's too late. No,
I saw it immediately.
No.
Where's Dusty's drop?
I saw it immediately in his eyes.
Oh, it's up there.
I saw it immediately in his eyes.
I got all of his as the same color. So I don't know.
This man is literally bouncing up and down with anticipation. Oh,
I know that I'm
unbelievable.
hard. Yeah, there it is. Yes.
But I thought that was funny.
That's my favorite one.
I thought that was funny. He comes out and like Mike Tyson's over one shoulder and Jeff Ross is over the other. I thought, his opening monologue was hilarious. He held no bonds. Like he went after everybody.
Love it. You got to be
that
equal.
was good.
Yes.
OG Anunoby was like accepting an award at one point. The mic was too low, so he like went like full spread eagle to like and his whole his entire team, the entire Knicks roster in the front row just fell out over it. I thought that was awesome. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul and someone else, I think it was DJ Khaled, announced an award.
Another one.
That the Shohei Ohtani was the winner of that award. I don't know the specific award that he won. And Mike Tyson, with a look of shock on his face, turns to Jake Paul. And the mic picked up the moment, is like, Shohei Ohtani's a guy? Mike, Iron Mike, what are we doing? We don't know who Shohei Ohtani is. We don't, Mike.
That's so crazy.
Mike, I know people who don't follow a sport that exists ever who know who Shohei Ohtani is.
They know who
man.
Shohei Ohtani is.
Come on, Mike.
Come on, that's insane. Yeah, Shohei Ohtani it will be playing tomorrow night. Today, it's just the Mets and Phillies. But tomorrow, all of baseball resumes. The Royals will be at home tomorrow, 7:10, where you can hear Vern live starting at 6. Coming up, Cody, Bink, and Drew Nixon live from 10 to 2. Thanks for locking in with us, guys. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Have a good one.
Talk to you later.
You're listening